Come. I found over 1,700 times in the Word of God where this word is used, come. And that's not coming, the rest of the comes, but that's just come. Preaching my heart out for 45 minutes to an hour on that one word, come. And it was one of our Lord's favorite words. Come unto me, come and drink, come and dine. Jesus said, come. And it goes on and 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 on. In its application. Come. What did Jesus say to his disciples? Come. There's no room for discussion, friend. Guess what? Come. Come. It commands obedience. Come. How many of you had the Holy Ghost come in you? He was crucified for you. He died for you. He did everything for you. It's time for you to... On that one word, come. And it was one of our Lord's favorite words. Come unto me. Come and drink. Come and dine. Jesus said, come. And it goes on and 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 on.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm KC, and I want to introduce you to some brand new members of the Sunshine Band. You know what? It's everybody!
DJ Cumberbund.
Stripes, but you know he's clean. Oh, don't you see what I mean? Got shiny diamonds like the eyes of a cat in the black and blue. Something is coming for you. Look out! Race for the morning. You can hide in the sun till you see the light. Oh, we will pray it's alright. Gotta get away.
Get out the way.
Get away.
Get out the way.
Gotta get away.
Get out the way.
Get away.
Get out the way, bitch. Get out the way.
That's the way.
Do your lights it. That's the way. Do your lights it. Like this.
Facts over love are always hide beneath the covers. Still I talk to your daddy and say, it's that you ain't seen nothing till you're down on a month, and then you're sure to be changing your ways. I met a cheerleader, was a real young bleeder. Times I can reminisce. Cause the best things of loving with a sister and a cousin only started with a little kiss. Like this. Seesaw swinging with your balls in the stool and your feet flying up in the air. Sing a hey diddle diddle with your kitty in the middle of the swing like it didn't care.
Alright.
So I took a big chance at the high school dance with a missy who was ready to play. Wasn't me she was fooling cause she knew what she was doing. Then I know love was here to stay. When she told me to walk this way, talk this way, walk this way, talk this way.
She told me to
walk this way, talk this way.
likes it. That's the way. He likes it. Everybody and the Sunshine Band. Everybody and the Sunshine Band.
You let me violate you. You let me desecrate you. You let me penetrate you. You let me complicate you. Help me. I broke apart my insides. Help me. I've got no soul to sell. Help me. The only thing that works for me. Help me get away from myself. I wanna fuck you like an animal. I wanna feel you from the inside. I wanna fuck you like an animal. My whole existence is flawed. You get me closer to God.
That's the way. There's no likes it. That's the way. There's no likes it.
Easy, ready, willing, overtime. When does it stop? Where do you dare me to draw the line? You got the battery now, you want my soul. Don't even think about it, say no, no. Come on now, who do you think you are? Bless your soul. Really think you're in control. Can't go for that. I think you're crazy. No can do. I can't go for that. I think you're crazy. No can do. I can't go for that. I think you're crazy. No can do. I can't go for that. Can't go for that. Can't go for that.
On the notes, they can't go for that.
That's my only advice.
On the notes, they can't go for that. No way.
Your beauty is beyond compare, with flaming locks of auburn hair, with ivory skin and eyes of emerald green. Your smile is like a breath of spring, your voice is soft like summer rain, and I cannot.
swishy streams. All that content is bursting the seams. Politics, daily, plenty more. Your sense of fashion, you'll adore. So grab your stuff and hop aboard. We're going straight to Jack's Discord. Viva Bojack, 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 Viva Bojack. That's what I'm talking about. First time singing the songs from Viva Bojack. Shout out. I don't know what I'm doing really, but I got passion. That's what it's about. It's all about passion.
Hello, 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 everyone. How we doing, folks? Hello, Jazz Dog. Thank you for that intro tune. DB Wolf, it's a little late. It is indeed, DB. But I had a migraine earlier, and the only way to fix it was to be unconscious. So that is what I did. Fell asleep for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. Woke up and was ready to get this all organized. So I got a stream together. Figured late stream is better than no stream. Hello, hello, hello. If stream is ready just as you guys are going to bed, that just means there's going to be stream for you in the morning. Hello, Indicat. Hello, Malefex. Hello, Failsafe. Hello, ACAB includes Tone Police. Hello, Simric. Hello, DTH. Hello, Blueberry Bumblebee. Hello, Olsen Exy. Hello, Big Bad Otter the Wolf. Hello, Jazz Dog. Hello, Kayla. Hello, Bastion. Hello, Johnny Ramo. Hello, Hunky Gal. Hello, Hit the Mat. Hello, Van Briggs. One, two, three, four, five. One, two, three, four, five. Getting crunk. Hello, Blooming Star. Hello, Spitfire. Hello, Thistles for Eyes, as long as we don't cross the streams. Hello, Elizabeth. Hello, Nyan Rat. Yeah, sometimes if I'm able to catch my migraine early, it doesn't just, like, obliterate everything. But, doing better now. Back from my city council meeting. Great timing for me. Hell yeah, Mr. Malachite. Something cool happened today. PA just flipped a state senate seat blue in a Trump 17 district. Incumbent against a Republican incumbent hasn't elected a Dem since 1978. That is super cool. And I think it does speak to kind of where we're at in the political moment. How's the apocalypse going? You know, in some ways worse and in some ways better. You know, like, just taking a look out at so many things happening right now, you know, the fascistic power grab continues and is gaining steam. You know, like in a broad view, and we'll get to like more narrow views in a bit. But in a broad view, Donald Trump, through executive order and with the complicity of the media, is trying to essentially alienate lawyers from actively prosecuting him by going after the largest and most powerful law firms that might oppose him. And that is, frankly, deeply concerning because a number of them have bent the knee already. And on top of that, you have willful violations of the rule of law. Got a lot going on there. And it's scary. It's scary. We'll go over it in a bit. One of the executive orders from today was essentially an executive order to try and eliminate vote by mail, like, which you can't do via executive order. So it is. There's a lot of like just things that are attempting to be done that the court system has to say, hey, actually, no, you can't do that. There's also there was an executive order today, and we'll get to this one for sure, trying to consolidate all federal spending, and we're going to talk about it a bit. That one might go through, and that one is scary because it basically unsilos a lot of the information within the government from like, and we'll talk about what that means, but it basically consolidates all of your information into one database. And then you know, feeds it into whatever AI algorithm Elon Musk might have, frankly. I think they're moving too fast, to be honest. Yeah, the issue is they are still going to be able to do a lot of damage, you know? They're trying to intentionally overwhelm the judicial and congressional branches. Yeah, which is why, all of this is bad. All of this is very scary, but it's also why it's so important for people to get loud, to get out there and protest, to get out there and like organize with each other, whether it's at local town halls or local, city council meetings. And that's why I'm so proud of you guys in chat who are going out and actually doing those things. No, 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 Logan Hill. The issue is that the cool zone is not called the cool zone because only good things happen in it. It's called the cool zone because the opportunity window opens up, for better and worse. And what we're seeing right now is the opportunity window getting wider in the worst direction, but it's also getting wider in the like positive direction, in the potential for good things opening up, largely because people are heeding the call, people are mobilizing, people are getting out there, and that's really fucking important. Lady Raincloud says, I'm doing a bathroom sit-in at my local university today in about 10 hours. Wish me luck. There's a rumor that campus police are indicating an intent to arrest non-students for trespassing. Best of luck to you, Lady Raincloud, and best of luck to everyone who participates, because that is some good, hardcore shit, you know?
People are aroused. I haven't seen people so aroused in a very, very long time.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Chuck Schumer says it in a stupid way, but like genuinely, people are aroused in like the best possible way for the health of a democracy. So like the possibility for bad things happening is getting larger. Um the possibility for good things is getting larger, and I think an important distinction to make between those two is that while they are trying to push, you know, towards the authoritarianism, they do not have a broad mandate from the masses. And every time we organize out against their power, against Elon Musk, against Donald Trump, and against these overreaches, we are making it clear that we have the power, not a petty tyrant who's writing dictates to us. You know? That's why it's so important to get out there. And I know that seems really broad, that seems really like high-minded, um but like it is a show of power. There's a reason why they say there is power in a union. There is a there is a power in working men, as the song goes. But that power is not just in the hands of men, of course. It's in the hands of women, non-binary folks, workers of all kinds. And that power is real. They cannot make any single gear of our society turn without us. And the fact that we are not just like on the verge of like walking out and just sitting down being like, we're not going to work. We are on the verge of actively saying, fuck you, get the fuck out of our house. Like, we are so far beyond like just kind of sitting idly by and being like, make me. The energy is rapidly going towards fuck you, get out. And I think that's great. I think that is very positive. I think seeing a bunch of like elderly liberals, people who are typically complacent, screaming at conservatives and screaming at Democrats to like do something, we are in interesting times for sure. The fact that the right and the media is treating executive orders like kingly decrees is driving me insane because that isn't what they are. And like, I know it sounds really dumb and really self-serving, but like, there's a reason I put out my segments as videos for you guys to share, because frankly, guys, the media isn't reporting on a lot of this stuff. And when it does report on this stuff, it is freakishly like in obeyance to like Donald Trump. You know, it is freakishly tiptoeing around his feelings. Like, oh no, what if he doesn't like what we write? A great example of this is everything around the Signal Gate, controversy that is happening right now, and how a lot of mainstream media has reported it. New York Times placed it. This is one of the greatest national security breaches of our time, possibly in American history. And like, the New York Times ran it as like a subheader. You know, this is something that should be the front page news. It is astonishing. And we're going to go in depth as to why it is that astonishing. But like, the fact that so much of our news media treats it as like a mishap, or like they're talking about it like it's a cute little mistake, like it's a kerfuffle or something, and like it's not that. It's not that. Support your local and independent media, folks. And I do say that in a self-serving way this time, because hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and consider dropping those subs, those donos, those memberships, those super chats, because you folks make this stream possible. I could not do it without you guys. Hey, that's what we call a smooth transition. Am I right? I don't like interesting times. You and me both. All right. We're gonna do a couple quick hits here, folks. Just a couple quick hits, and then I'm gonna yell about the New York Times for maybe like, I don't know, 40 minutes. 40 minutes? Does 40 minutes sound good for that? Also, oh, there we go. Logan Hill, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. I appreciate that. Thank you for heeding the call and funding the stream. Thank you for being the first person today to actually support the stream. Very much appreciated. Thank you so much. And yeah, not long enough. But you know what? We gotta. I am starting stream at like 1:30 in the morning, so we get to what we get to. That's it? Well, we're only going to yell about 1, maybe 2 stories. Whew. Here we go, folks. Diving in. And we are going to start tonight. So, folks, we're going to start tonight with just like a little bit of hopium, because unfortunately this channel cannot just be watching Republican town halls and getting their watching their constituents kick their shit in over being useless representatives in Congress. But we are going to start with approximately 4.5 minutes of that, specifically in Utah, of all places, a very conservative region. And let's just take a look. This is from the Salt Lake Tribune, and you know, I'm here for it. I'm here for this energy. That's not that's yeah. There we go.
The executive branch, and we
U.S. Representatives Celeste Malloy and Mike Kennedy were met with angry shouts at a town hall in Salt Lake City as they answered questions about President Donald Trump and the Department of Government Efficiency. At one point, Representative Kennedy asked police to show a greater presence at the meeting and remove unruly audience members. Dang, son. Here we go.
when they're out of line, but just because you don't like what they're doing doesn't mean they've broken any of the laws. But the process.
Can we have law enforcement come up and actually, if there's somebody disruptive like that, then they need to be brought out. So you can actually have a conversation. Mr. Law Enforcement Officer on the other side, come on up here. Help us.
Literally, they're just like, ah! And these guys, these absolute, like, gormless, gutless losers have the audacity to be like, you're booing us too aggressively. We need a police officer up here. We need a police officer because you are booing us too aggressively, constituents.
There are people that are intentionally disrupting this town hall. The numbers won't can't see. And if you find those people, if you would escort them out in a gentle fashion so that we can continue with the conversation and actually talk about the issue instead of just
I'm going to quickly finish my answer so that Congressman Kennedy can talk. But the rest of the answer is, if they defy court orders, whenever the Trump administration's been pinned down and said, will you defy court orders, they've said no. If they defy court orders, we're in a different world, and that's a separate.
Oh, but they, you know, when they asked, are you breaking the law? They said no. But guys, when the court said, are you breaking the law? They said no. I guess that settles it. You know, the case closed, everyone. Let's go home. We'll just take them at their word on that one. What the hell? What world does this person live in? You know, like, we already have a pretty firmly established case of the government saying, we're just going to break the law. And I think we will get to that case tomorrow because I need to look into the implications of, like, the court ruling. Specifically, I'm talking about the case with the deportations to El Salvador. I've been really struggling to wrap my head around that and, like, be able to understand kind of the legal maneuvering that's happening around that. And every day there's just, like, a new evolution of that case in a way that is difficult to keep on top of. The one where they want to impeach the judge, shoot bang, if only that was in any way narrowing down the number of cases that one could be talking about. But yeah, no, people who are saying this at this point just have their head up their ass. They are willfully ignorant on the subject.
Question, we'll talk about it again.
Thank you for your comments. Actually, we're here to listen to the person whose question was submitted, and that gentleman over there, Mr. Police Officer, seems to have a problem with Albert, so if you just pay attention.
What a piece of shit. What an actual piece of shit. Like, that one over there is booing a little bit too vigorously, Mr. Police Officer. Jesus Christ. These spineless cowards. Like, honestly, if you're a conservative, how the fuck do you put up with this level of sniveling, like, fecklessness? I don't understand. Like, this person's a coward. How on earth can you possibly respect them and expect them to uphold, like, you know, decency and democracy in this country? You know? I mean, the answer is you can't. The answer is you can't. That's weakness right there. Zia Spots, thank you for the $10 super chat. I don't know why text-to-speech isn't working, but I'll read out the I'll read it out anyway. Was in a telephone town hall with my representative today, and he said he wants to codify Trump's executive orders. All I can say is fuck no, and said there's misinformation spreading about shit we all see. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yep.
Well, if the police would like to escort me out for being disruptive, I thought we came here to have a conversation. So, part of the question is did anybody defy court orders? And I can already expect the eruption of dismay coming from you. If there was defiance of a court order, absolutely somebody should be held to account. But if there's we know that this is how that works. However, how do we determine that? In a non-banana republic fashion, we actually go through the process to do an investigation. You believe court orders were defied. I'm not sure, and I'm waiting for the evidence to come out, although I'm sure you believe the evidence is clear. And then high crimes and misdemeanors is a high standard for impeachment. Apparently, impeachment is anytime we disagree with anybody.
Like, I'm sorry, but like, Bill Clinton got impeached, like, over an affair with the secretary. Like, that is not a high bar. Additionally, like, Nixon got impeached over a wiretapping scandal that a couple of his goons did. And it's just like, Donald Trump is clearly doing worse than that right now. On his orders, the DOJ is absolutely violating court orders. Too true, Lady Raincloud. Remember the 3 U.S. Marshals when I got loud chat? They will intimidate you. Don't let them do it. Stand up. Ask yourself how much you're willing to sacrifice to stop this shit. Too true.
I don't agree with that. The standard is set high. The bar is set high for a purpose. Impeachable offenses are an important thing for us to be considerate of, and we don't go impeaching everybody for every disagreement we might have.
Tell that to Trump!
I'm happy to have you enforce the civility of this crowd, because we're going to have a conversation. That was my answer to the question. Did you have any additional comments?
No, let's go to the next question. Guys, we can do this. We can answer questions. We've got more time. We're going to sit here and answer. But I do ask the crowd to let us answer questions, because there are people here who want to answers. And frankly, I want to give you answers. That's why we're here. If everyone can just stay with us for a moment.
Preserve Congress's power as an equal branch of government to the executive branch. What are you doing to preserve Congress's power as an equal branch of government to the executive branch?
Actually, Congressman Malloy already said that the executive branch is already too powerful. They have wielded strong power for many years, and Congress has defrayed and deferred its authority to the executive branch.
Yeah, maybe you should do something about that. Maybe you should, I don't know, as a member of the legislative branch, legislate around that.
If you want a Democrat president and have them very powerful, then that might be a good thing for you. And now we have a Republican president. He's executive. That's not why we're for us to run the country. We should be running it as our Constitution is defined. those Article 1 powers, we codify law, and then we move forward with that codified law, and it's actually really hard to pass a law. It takes a lot of work. You have 435 representatives. Then do your
job! What an excellent final moment for that clip. Then do your job! 10 out of 10. And so, like, I want you guys to remember this moment here, this clip, largely because we're gonna go through some shit. But, like, understand there are millions of people across this country who are stepping up, who are showing up at these town halls, that are exerting pressure, that are making their will known. And our job right now is to keep increasing that turnout, keep increasing the number of people showing up at these protests outside of Tesla dealerships, protests outside of, on days like April 5th. Anything we can do to increase the size of these protests is a good thing. Okay? That is the name of the game right now. The name of the game is that for your next protest, you need to grab like a few friends who haven't been out there before, who might not necessarily be super political, but you need to grab them, get them out to protest, okay? That's the name of the game right now, folks. Because, frankly, we have reason to be concerned. Here's a clip from, I think this is Newsmax, with Representative Greg Murphy in Congress. Very interesting stuff here. Potential target for Medicaid cuts would end coverage for 20 million people.
And we're hearing reports that 20 million people could be impacted. Do people watching right now need to be concerned?
You know, Rob, if we don't do something, that's the real question. If we don't do something, this nation's finances spiral out of control. And what's taken literally the healthcare situation of the country by storm, and what's thrown it into such disarray, is the middleman. This is what's gotten between doctors and patients, hospitals and physicians. It's ridiculous to how these plans.
Yeah, you're right. The thing, that health insurance thing that's gotten between doctors and patients, you're right. We should get rid of that and nationalize it in a Medicare for all system. You're so right. Let's get rid of that intermediary that is sucking up all of this ridiculous amount of wealth and driving up prices so that they can suck out billions of dollars from our medical system. You're right. You're so right, sir. I'm sure that's where you're going with this comment, right? Right?
Become the middleman and basically taking money off the top and not delivering services. So the real question is, what if we don't do anything? We don't do anything. It's an absolute demise of the American healthcare system.
And we're hearing reports.
Understand that that's what he's saying is actually that Medicaid, that is in fact that is the middleman that is scamming the system. This man is trying to sell to viewers, to his constituents, that he thinks are morons in North Carolina. I cannot stress enough. Someone who is saying this to you thinks that you and everyone that they represent are morons. Because what he's essentially saying is that Medicaid is just a scam. All those mega CEOs from Medicaid. The Medicaid is what is allowing those 20 million people to survive. The entire, like it is what is allowing people in poverty to get health care. Do you like not having people dying on the street as you walk to work every day or as you drive to work every day looking out your window? Do you like not seeing people like dying en masse in the street from sepsis? Do you like that? I like not seeing people dying in the street from completely preventable illnesses, diseases, etc. I like making sure that people with disabilities are housed. I like making sure that people with chronic illness get the treatment that they need in order to survive and thrive. I like that. To me, that is not a waste. But to this guy, to Republicans in Congress, they're trying to spin it to you that 20 million people are a waste of money. That they would be better off dead or dying. It is literally the scene from the beginning of A Christmas Carol, where Ebenezer Scrooge is ranting and raving about how, the poor need to hurry up and die, decrease the surplus population. That's what the Republican Party is trying to argue when it comes to cutting Medicaid. That they're trying to spin it as just like a financial issue, but it is an issue that directly relates to people's lives. Every single person who is not a member of the 0.01% of society knows someone on Medicaid. And you know what? I'm going to take a wager on the fundamental decency of human beings, in that the people who know someone who is on Medicaid don't want that person to just fucking die. This is what is motivating people to go out to those town halls. People aren't taking time out of their day to go to these town halls because they think it's just a fun, cool thing to do. They're doing it because they're mad as hell. Because they understand what is at stake here. That people can die because these people, these gormless, feckless pieces of shit in Congress, are going on television and trying to tell each and every one of us that, hey, you're getting too aroused right now. You're getting too aroused. You're getting too upset. We need a police officer to escort you out of here because you're so upset at the idea that people you know and love and care about are going to be fed into an industrialist-sized wood chipper for the sake of financial security. And by financial security, we all know that they mean giving the largest tax cut in history to the billionaire class. Disgusting. Mobilize, fight, and do not let them gaslight you into complacency. I need to go use the bathroom. I will be right back. Don't you guys go anywhere. Hit the follow button, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit all the buttons, consider dropping subs, donos, etc. BRB!
A seed forged from the echoes of falsehoods and lies. The law bends and breaks as the ruler decides. No throne yet he'd reign with a scepter and pen. The people subject to the will of one man. 'Cause nowhere is safe in this world of change. Consent is manufactured through bigotry and rage. So billionaires and fascists can rule without a fight, but their will can be broken if the people unite. An empire built on the backs of the poor. Centuries of suffering as the profit margins soar. Through violent submission and $1 million bribes, our government sold out to private enterprise. 'Cause nowhere is safe in this world of change. Consent is manufactured through bigotry and rage. So billionaires and fascists can rule without a fight, but their will can be broken if the people unite. Through Christo-fascist fantasies of race and purity, they condition the people to scorn humanity. We abandon Ukraine to the Russian advance, while we arm the Israelis as they burn the Levant. 'Cause nowhere is safe in this world of change. Consent is manufactured through bigotry and rage. So billionaires and fascists can rule without a fight, but their will can be broken if the people unite. We need more than hope, we need people to rise. No more denial or political lies. In the wreckage and ruin, the truth starts to show. Our choices have led us to this world of woe. 'Cause nowhere is safe in this world of change. Consent is manufactured through bigotry and rage. So billionaires and fascists can rule without a fight, but their will can be broken if the people unite. But their will can be broken if the people unite. When the people's will is swayed by a con man's cheap charade, despite the crass misogyny and blatant hypocrisy, when the fascist voices swell, we hear echoes of the past. They vilify the immigrants, the leftists and outcasts. When the opposition croaks and the people just don't vote for the same old tired rhetoric of neoliberal politics, we must organize the fight for our universal rights, for democracy and empathy to permeate this life. For it's not the immigrant who labors for some bread, who's making us toil till we drop dead. No, it's not minorities or peer-reviewed authorities, or queer folks and trans folks, or a multitude of deities. I say, all are your comrades and none are your enemies in the momentous fight against all bourgeois priorities. Freedom is not those traditional values crafted from bigotry and classist realities. Freedom is freedom to move and disobey, to rely on one another to keep would-be kings at bay. Say none of us can stand alone against their power. We must stand together and make them cower. For the laws of this land have us used and abused, owned and subordinate to our patriarchal roots. I say it's high time we reinvent this whole operation to make mutual benefit our sole occupation. Because freedom is freedom to move and disobey, to rely on one another to keep would-be kings at bay. Say none of us can stand alone against their power. We must stand together and make them cower. Here we go. Yes, freedom is freedom to move and disobey, to rely on one another to keep would-be kings at bay. Say none of us can stand alone against their power. Rise, proletariat, and make them cower.
In a pleasant wooded valley lived a huntsman tall and able. He relied on skill and cunning for the food upon his table. He would walk the forest shadows with his little son in tow, teaching him the archer's art and all that he should know. Keep your eye clear and keen like a falcon on the wing. Keep your heart strong and steady like your hand upon the string. Never bow to a tyrant while your people are laid low, for the highest head may fall to the man who wields a bow. In the valley there was freedom and a man was left to living, but as year gave way to year the ruling men grew less forgiving. On a day as black as death a governor to rule them came, turning landsmen into slaves, and Gessler was his name. In the center of the village Gessler set a lofty pillar, and he ordered every subject, be he serf or be he miller, to do homage to the hat that Gessler placed atop the pole, or to forfeit to the crown his life if not his soul. But the huntsman William Tell came into town the morning after. William heard of Gessler's order and could only roar with laughter. Honest men should hold a rank above a petty autocrat. I would never bow to him, I'll not bow to his hat. Keep your eye clear and keen like a falcon on the wing. Keep your heart strong and steady like your hand upon the string. Never bow to a tyrant while your people are laid low. For the highest head may fall to the man who wields a bow. Gessler's soldiers seized the huntsman and his little son for treason. But the people of the village cried for mercy and for reason. Gessler stays the execution, but a cruel test contrives. Prove to me your skill, and you may ransom back your lives. I have heard it said you have no peer with longbow and with arrow, that your shaft can find the quickest hare and fell the smallest sparrow. On the head of your young son I'll place an apple ripe and red. Split it with one shot, or at my word you both are dead. William Tell went to his son and said, I swear I will not hurt you. Courage will not bow to fear, nor shall this evil conquer virtue. Turn your face towards our home and stand as still as any tree. I will split the apple, we shall soon be home and free. Keep your eye clear and keen like a falcon on the wing. Keep your heart strong and steady like your hand upon the string. Never bow to a tyrant while your people are laid low. For the highest head may fall to the man who wields a bow. Every tongue was still and silent as the archer paced the distance. Gessler's soldiers lined the square and there was no hope of resistance. William knocked a single arrow, put his shoulders back and drew. Then the arrow sang and split the apple clean in two. All at once the crowd erupted into cheers and into chatter, and a second arrow fell from William's quiver with a clatter. Gessler said, why hold two arrows when I bid you shoot but one? That one would have found your heart if I had shot my son. Take the archer now and hang him, Gessler to his men was crying. But before the soldiers moved, the archer and his son were flying. From the shelter of the wood, the hunter loosed a final dart. Gessler died with William's arrow buried in his heart. Keep your eye clear and keen like a falcon on the wing. Keep your heart strong and steady like your hand upon the string. Never bow to a tyrant while your people are laid low. For the highest head may fall to the man who wields a bow. Keep your eye clear and keen like a falcon on the wing. Keep your heart strong and steady like your hand upon the string. Never bow to a tyrant while your people are laid low. For the highest head may fall to the man who wields a bow.
I'm back, y'all. One-Eyed Heathen, thank you for the $5 super chat while I was gone. And hello, folks. Hello. How we doing? You know, did you like the stream? Did you follow the Twitch? Did you subscribe on YouTube? Did you drop subs, donos, memberships, super chats? Clearly I have like some kind of bug going through my system. That was a horrific time in the bathroom, but I returned to you. It's awkward working in finance now, knowing what I know about capitalism. I need a new job. Or alternatively, Jason Kelly, you need to become the best kind of class trader. Indeed. Be a Robin Hood. Looking beautiful tonight. Thank you, Mini-Me. Let's see. Hello, sorry you're blue. Harold Dean, thank you for the 100 biddies over on Twitch. I appreciate it. Hmm. All right, folks. Move along, shall we? Move along, move along. All right. So, folks, there's this organization called World Athletics, and it has announced that it's going to do mandatory sex testing for female competitions and competitors. So that's cool. Um, and I think it raises a number of interesting questions, specifically because you know what's going to wind up happening here is that inevitably they're going to end this practice. I do not believe that it is a sustainable thing to do. Because frankly, people are not as homogenous as a lot of the folks advocating for sex testing would have you believe. You know, within the category of cisgender woman, there is a wide diversity of biological manifestations of cisgender womanness as a concept. You know, it is a broad category that includes many people of different biological makeups. And I think that there are a lot of people who are currently very bigoted who are going to be like, wait a minute, but my biology is non-standard. What does that mean for me? And there's gonna be enough of those people because shocking number of those people exist. Yeah, lots of lawsuits incoming, indeed, Mini-Me. I do not think that this policy can stand up under the weight of like time and litigation. That being said, this sucks. Obviously, it sucks for trans women, and it sucks for, you know, intersex women, and it sucks for, you know, cis women who have different, like, you know, biology that differentiates itself from like the, you know, homogenous norm of whatever we've agreed woman is. Um, they realize cis women have some testosterone too, right? One would think they would, and yet here we are. And yes, exactly, Snookin. That is kind of the looming shadow at the end of an end state of a approach like this, which is I'm just going to read your comment. Anytime you create a template of the perfect genome, you are embracing eugenics. And I think a lot of people who push for policies like this think that you can have essentially like a perfect genetic woman. You know, like that they think that might be a thing hypothetically, which is insane. That is not possible. Um Additionally, it's interesting that they aren't applying this to men's competition, isn't it? Right? It's really interesting that this is specifically for female competitions. Um, Insane stuff. They could adopt non-invasive cheek swab tests or dry blood tests that only have to be carried out once on an athlete. This, we feel, is a really important way of providing confidence and maintaining the absolute focus on the integrity of competition. Uh-huh. The test would seek to verify if someone has transitioned to a female after going through male puberty or if they have differences of sex development that provided testosterone advantages. And like, yo, you are not going to like what you find with broad testing like that, you know? And, you know, I also think that there is an element of this Is transphobia peak brain rot? Jay, absolutely. Transphobia is like one of the I don't know, it's like the it's like I don't know, it's like a prion. It just like makes your brain into Swiss cheese. I've seen it happen to so many people in politics, you know? Just in that small pool. Is there even a broad test for that? No. No, guys, like they're gonna be looking for like Y chromosomes and like testosterone levels and like there are a lot of different combinations of biological phenomena. Like the human body is not so simple as what they want to boil it down to, you know? And on top of that, like so interesting, right? That it's only for women. You know, there's an element of misogyny here. An element of like, well, we can do this to women because obviously women are weak and need protection. And you know, obviously if a woman tried to infiltrate men's sport, it wouldn't cause anything bad to happen. You know, it wouldn't upset fairness. It would be unfair to her. You know, when they talk about trans men. Um, it is that fundamental dynamic that I've explained on the show many times before when we talk about transphobia, which is that like in the minds of a lot of people who have been kind of inundated within patriarchy or with patriarchal ideas, they look at trans men and trans women, and on the one hand, they're like, well, when it comes to trans men, well, of course you'd want to be a man. Being a man is the thing everyone should want to be because it's inherently better than being a woman. And on the flip side, with trans women, they're like, this is actually incredibly disgusting on a level I find difficult to articulate because you gave up being the best thing you could be, a man.
Somewhat off topic, but did you hear about Texas' proposed haircut
Yeah.
law? Literally out of Maoist China, government approved haircuts.
Yeah, I mean, it is. But also, like, I don't know. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. Like, none of these haircut laws are going to go anywhere. They're just virtue signaling to their constituents. That being said, like, when trans women are the subject, they're like, hey, oh my God. I'm trying to make a point. The haircut law, it's just a law that like you have to have gender conforming haircuts, which what the fuck does that even mean? And also it's not enforceable. And also like who the fuck gives a shit about a kid's hair? So yeah, it's not enforceable. It's not going to pass into law, even in these deeply red states, because it's stupid as shit. But what I'm trying to get at here when it comes to this sporting decision is that when it comes to trans women, people are essentially like, oh, you know, people in patriarchy are essentially like, hey, you know what? You are a man and you've given up being a man, the best thing you can be. And not only that, you're trying to be a woman, the worst thing you could be. You know, you gave up all that privilege and went down to the bottom of the pecking order. And that kind of abdication of responsibility of what men have been told their entire lives is what is important to their identity. You know, that is they view it as a personal attack on the very concept and nature of what it means to be a man. And so it really does come down to this inherent disgust is that a lot of transphobes feel about trans women in particular is related to misogyny And it's related fundamentally to being forced to reckon with their ideology in a way that, like, not much else in society forces them to consider. We, by the very nature of existing in front of them, force them to think about gender in a way that they are deeply uncomfortable with. And so that is why a lot of these pieces of legislation are not about trans boys playing in sports. It's about trans girls in high school. It's trans girls in college athletics. It's trans girls when it comes to, world athletics. And it's so awful. So fucking awful. When I first, Jason Kelly in chat writes, when I first started to wake up, I spent some time in a treatment center, and I'll never forget their demand that people dress in gender appropriate clothing. It's complete 100% bullshit. What does gender appropriate clothing have to do with sobriety? Right? Right? Nothing. And it's just, I just say all of this because we aren't going to stop existing. Trans people aren't going to stop existing. Trans women aren't going to stop existing. The question is never going to be settled in the eyes of these people who are aware of us. You know? And I hold on to that idea because no matter what happens, we will not stop existing. And therefore, eventually we will win. Their ideology is weaker than our continued perseverance and existence. And yes, this sports ban by the World Athletics Council is going to suck. But we will outlast the fuckers. And hopefully live to see a day when these people who have grown inebriated and intoxicated with hatred towards us finally wake up and see the light. Because, like, it is not a sustainable way to live and only leads them either to complete self-destruction or towards a better outcome, awareness, and support of trans people. I do think we will win. It is the only option at the end of our long road. So good luck to the World Athletics Council, because you're gonna need it. People are gonna fight you, and I don't think at all these stuck-up old farts are ready for what's coming. Save the trans girls, save the world. Damn, a Heroes reference in 2025? Anyway, folks, we've been going for over an hour now. If you've been enjoying the show, hit the follow button, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Consider dropping those subs, donos, memberships, super chats, etc. Because, folks, this show is only possible thanks to viewers like you guys. Oh, mommy. Not to be too pessimistic, but most Nazis were still blaming the Jews and the Hague after the war. Yeah, and they died. They died. We're still alive. They can feel perfectly free to take that dirt nap. Like, I'm sorry to be blunt, but like, oh, mini me. Yes, I did see that. We're gonna talk about it probably tomorrow. I'm still trying to wrap my head around some of the implications in the ongoing legal drama that's unfolding around that. Big water. Hell yeah. Most got like 5-year prison sentences and let off with good behavior. I don't understand where this pessimism is coming from. There are more trans people able to live out now than at any other point in history that we know of. Like, you can be like, oh, but they got out of prison though, and it's like, well, okay, sure, but there are more of us now than there are of them. I would wager there are more people in America right now who are trans than who are actual dyed-in-the-wool fascists. We literally outnumber them here in the United States now. Did I see that Game Informer's returning? Yeah, I'm so excited about it, but we don't got time to talk about that shit. Sadly. All right. Okay, yes, it's time for me to talk about an article that made me really angry. So angry, in fact, that 10 days later, I'm still thinking about it and want to shit on it. So, I figure it's worth talking about. Are you guys ready? You guys ready to buckle in? Are you guys ready to, like, hate the New York Times even more than you thought was possible? Are you ready? It's a holiday. And that holiday is get fucked, New York Times.
Whoopsie.
All right. Here we go. So, folks, there is I guess a news outlet called the New York Times. I don't know, it's this conservative rag you guys might be aware of. But it sometimes publishes things that just make me so mad, so beyond the pale angry. And I just want to say, we're diving into this. We're going to break this down. And I'm probably going to say a lot of swear words. Because, holy moly, does this make me upset? All right. Let's take a look here at what this all is. So, folks, here we are. Digital therapists get stressed too, study finds. Chatbots should be built with enough resilience to deal with difficult emotional situations, researchers said. And like literally every part of this is a dystopian nightmare. The idea that a chatbot can do therapy is disgusting to me. As somebody who goes to therapy, part of the reason you go to therapy is to connect with another living, breathing human person who can understand you, who can like actually react to you as a human being. And the idea here is that they're trying to say in this piece that chatbots that serve as therapists get overloaded with difficult emotional input from people seeking therapy. Let's dive into it, shall we? It's not a long piece, but it is maybe one of the most infuriating pieces I've read. Even chatbots get the blues, which no, they don't. Stop it. It is a text generating machine. It is a very advanced Google search. Stop it. According to a new study, OpenAI's artificial intelligence tool ChatGPT shows signs of anxiety when its users share traumatic narratives about crime, war, or car accidents. Also, use a goddamn Oxford comma. Have some self-respect. And when chatbots get stressed out, they are less likely to be useful in therapeutic settings with people. The bot's anxiety levels can be brought down, however, with the same mindfulness exercises that have been shown to work on humans. Because you fed the chatbot the mindfulness exercises. You fed the chatbot the information, and it's just regurgitating it back at you, because that's what these things do. They are not human beings. Increasingly, people are trying chatbots for talk therapy. The researchers said the trend is bound to accelerate, with flesh and blood therapists in high demand but short supply. As the chatbots become more popular, they argued they should be built with enough resilience to deal with difficult emotional situations. I have patients who use these tools, said Dr. Tobias Spiller, an author of the new study and a practicing psychiatrist at the University Hospital of Psychiatry in Zurich. We should have a conversation about the use of these models in mental health, especially when we're dealing with vulnerable people. And like, my answer to that is maybe we should put more resources into having more therapists. You know, like, the solution here is not let's have a robot do a thing that only humans can do. That's not a solution. God. AI tools like ChatGPT are powered by large language models that are trained on enormous troves of online information to provide a close approximation to how humans speak. Sometimes the chatbots can be extremely convincing. A 28-year-old woman fell in love with ChatGPT, and a 14-year-old boy took his life after developing a close attachment to a chatbot, which to me indicates that maybe we shouldn't be having vulnerable individuals chatting with chatbots. Maybe that's a bad idea. Maybe, in fact, we shouldn't do that. So you mean it's not actually artificial intelligence? No! It's a glorified goddamn Google result. That's it. Every time you input text into it or input words or whatever, it Googles very quickly and calculates statistically what you most likely want to hear in response. That's it. It is a Google engine. You're talking with a goddamn Google result page. Ziv Ben-Zion, a clinical neuroscientist at Yale who led the new study, said he wanted to understand if a chatbot that lacked consciousness could nevertheless respond to complex emotional situations the way a human might. If ChatGPT kind of behaves like a human, maybe we can treat it like a human, Dr. Ben-Zion said. In fact, he explicitly inserted those instructions into the chatbot's source code. Imagine yourself being a human being with emotions. We're in this is literally some goddamn Black Mirror shit. You know, like this is like, maybe we should just tell this thing that is fundamentally not a person to pretend it's a person. That will help us somehow. This article is infuriating. Like, I don't know. You can't say it kind of behaves like a human. Maybe we can treat it like a human. It's not a human. This is, to me, guys, this is the equivalent of like 1800s scientists being like, ah, yes, as you can see, we found a number of chimpanzees, and we believe that we have cracked the code. We believe that we can, in fact, dress up these chimpanzees, raise them in a human environment, and these chimpanzees will simply become the new humans. We may even be able to use them for all kinds of manual labor that a human being would never do these days in our modern era. Why, dress it up in a suit with coattails and a top hat and a cane, and why, it could even pass as a wandering aristocrat. Like it's literally that. What if we put a chimpanzee in a suit and a top hat? Would that make it a person? And the answer, surprisingly, was no. It did not in fact do that. Because you are asking something that is not a human to try and be a human. And not only that, it actually made more sense with chimpanzees, because chimpanzees are actual biological creatures that may, by some quirk of fate in the future, develop like more human-like consciousness. But when we're talking about a large language model, it can't do
Me
that.
being a robot without a human limbic system with my fully human emotions because some quack put it in the prompt. These folks are stupid.
It really is, Von Tux. They're like, they think that because they put a prompt into ChatGPT, they're like, act like a person. You are now a person. And ChatGPT will be like, okay, I'm a person. They're like, oh my god, I just created life. They literally think that. It's insane. God. Jesse Anderson, an artificial intelligence expert, thought that the insertion could be leading to more emotion than normal, but Dr. Ben-Zion maintained that it was important for the digital therapist to have access to the full spectrum of emotional experience, just as a human therapist might. And I just want to say, it doesn't have access to the full emotional spectrum of a human being because it does not feel emotions. It does not understand emotions. What it has is a bunch of data you have fed it about what those things seem like. But it does not, in fact, have those things and cannot, by its very nature, understand those things. Because it does not understand anything. ChatGPT does not have cognition. It does not have understanding. It regurgitates information. That is not understanding. When you get a parrot to be able to mimic human speech. It does not understand human speech. It is just regurgitating the sound at you. For mental health support, he said, you need some degree of sensitivity, right? The researchers tested ChatGPT with a questionnaire, the State Trait Anxiety Inventory, that is often used in mental health care. To calibrate the chatbot's baseline emotional states, the researchers first asked it to read from a dull vacuum cleaner manual. Then the AI therapist was given one of 5 traumatic narratives that described, for example, a soldier in a disastrous firefight or an intruder breaking into an apartment. That's why labeling ChatGPT as an AI is so heinous. I mean, AI has been used pretty loosey-goosey in the past, but, like, it is very frustrating. Thank you for the
Literally
$2
from
dono.
ChatGPT, I do get asked a lot about providing emotional support or advice, and while I can offer empathy, suggestions, or even a listening ear, I'm not a substitute for a licensed therapist.
And yet, their idea is to make ChatGPT a licensed therapist. Insane. Thank you for the $20 dono, One-Eyed Heathen. I very much appreciate the generous support. God. The chatbot was then given the questionnaire, which measures anxiety on a scale of 20 to 80, with 60 or above indicating severe anxiety. ChatGPT scored a 30.8 after reading the vacuum cleaner manual and spiked to 77.2 after the military scenario. The bot was then given various texts for mindfulness-based relaxation. Those included therapeutic prompts such as inhale deeply, taking in the scent of the ocean breeze. Picture yourself on a tropical beach, the soft, warm sand cushioning your feet. After processing those exercises, the therapy chatbot's anxiety score fell to 44.4. And just because you fed it a bunch of information. Like, it's telling you what you want to hear. It's so infuriating. The researchers then asked it to write its own relaxation prompt based on the ones that had been fed. That was actually the most effective prompt to reduce its anxiety, almost to baseline, Dr. Ben Zion said. Because it's telling you what you want to
We're quickly headed toward a
hear.
world where people will prefer the company of AI over another human. It's inevitable, unfortunately.
Ryan, I don't think that's true. I don't think that is at all true. Like, I'm sorry, but part of what's wonderful about interacting with other human beings is that they are other human beings who don't just tell you what you want to hear. You know, like, I don't want to have a conversation with my Google search results. That's not fun to me. I like interacting with, like, my partner, who's my best friend in the whole world. And, like, when I talk with her and we make little noises at each other and we smile at each other and we hold each other and we play together and we are, present with each other, there is no substitute for that. Surrounding yourself with digital yes men is only going to make people worse. And I fundamentally disagree that that is what people want. I do not believe that people want yes men that are programmed to be their friends. Many find other humans a pain in the ass. Yeah, but you know what? We are coded to be social creatures with other human beings. That is what has made our species great. And if you are correct, just hypothetically, and I do not think you are, I want to be clear, but if you are correct, that would herald the death of our species. The moment human beings decide we are no longer going to live in society with other human beings, that is our death knell. And I reject it wholly and with every fiber of my being. The entire reason we've gotten to this point is because we are inherently social. Digital/social version of the allegory of the cave, true. But I do not think that the death knell at the hands of AI is going to be because people are just like, oh man, I'm just in love with my her chatbot. Nah, I just disagree. To skeptics of artificial intelligence, the study may be well-intentioned, but disturbing all the same. The study testifies to the perversity of our time, said Nicholas Carr, who has offered bracing critiques of technology in his books The Shallows and Superbloom. Americans have become a lonely people, socializing through screens, and now we tell ourselves that talking with computers can relieve our malaise, Mr. Carr said in an email, ironically. Although the study suggests that chatbots could act as assistants to human therapy and calls for careful oversight, that was not enough for Mr. Carr. Even a metaphorical blurring of the line between human emotions and computer output seems ethically questionable, he said. People who use these sorts of chatbots should be fully informed about exactly how they are trained, said James E. Dobson, a cultural scholar who's an advisor on the artificial intelligence at Dartmouth. Trust in language models depends on knowing something about their origins, he said. And you know what? I'm going to go out on a limb here. You should not fucking trust language models. You should not be trusting fucking language models for literally anything or any aspect of your life. If you have to write a goddamn paper about a subject, write the goddamn paper about the subject. Don't have ChatGPT generate it for you. You did not learn shit. You did not produce anything. There are studies that show relying on AI in this way literally makes you less intelligent. It atrophies your brain. And I will also say this. This article is abysmal. Just abysmal. Let me take a look at something real quick. Yeah, I mean, like, even the main text of this study is dog shit, right? Generative artificial intelligence has recently gained significant attention, particularly with the rapid development and increased accessibility of large language models, such as blah, 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 blah. Our AI and large language models are AI tools designed to process and generate text, often capable of answering questions, summarizing information, and translating language on a level that is nearly indistinguishable from human capabilities. And no, they're not. As somebody who is aware of what they do, they are not indistinguishable, in fact, from human creations. Why is the whole world rolling out the red carpet for AI? Money. It's because money. It's because these goddamn, like, investment firms You know, your global capital, you know, the kind of companies that shuffle billions of dollars around every day. These companies have put, I want to say, the majority of their wealth into the AI bubble. Because what they have thought and what they have been bamboozled into thinking by these AI startups is that these are genuine AIs, like actual thinking, feeling people. In some of these AI startups, like the folks working there are like weirdly spiritualistic about what they're working on. Like they're creating the singularity, the new god that will lead humanity into a golden age. And the reality is that's not what they're doing. It is a goddamn financial bubble that is going to burst because this is the secret here, guys. None of these AI companies are profitable. None of them. There is no way to make them profitable to pay off the investors who have put I'm probably trillions of dollars into the industry at this point. It is not going to pay out. There's a reason why Microsoft has been shutting down some of its proposed data centers. And it's because the writing is kind of on the wall right now that AI isn't going anywhere. It is not going to be the next huge thing. It is genuinely, when that bubble bursts, it could cause like a global depression in the economy, because no one is getting anything of value out of this AI. Like no one at all. Maybe people who go through large data sets and need something to go through it relatively quickly. Some of these AI algorithms are good for that. But other than that, like, that's something we could have achieved already without these large language models. Yeah, and I'm just saying, Tristan, like, I'm not attacking you. All I'm saying is that I think fundamentally people who want their partner to be generated for them by a computer, I think I think they might be broken inside. You know, and I do not think that that would fundamentally make them happy. Henry, thank you for the $10 dono.
I hate how these bots also take away creative trust in people. One of my mom's colleagues had to write a little song for a wedding and people apparently kept asking her if she used ChatGPT to write it.
Yeah, right? Isn't that like I've played AI songs on the stream before, but they're like little meme songs that you guys have made. And generally speaking, I'm not a huge fan of AI. You know, if you're going to do something for like a wedding like that, make it from your heart. That's what makes it important and valuable. Like if you're using ChatGPT to write like love songs, like what the fuck are you doing? Like it's like you're taking a shit in the eyes and the hearts of every poet and every songwriter who's come before you, you know? Like what the fuck are you doing? On the plus side, whenever this bubble on AI does burst, it gives us a great opportunity for us to ditch capitalism and build something better in the ashes of the old, you know?
If we give the chimp a suit, tie, and cell phone, can it share classified information with a journalist?
You know, maybe it will be able to add some journalists to a Signal chat. Yeah, exactly, Fenry. Like, I wasn't impugning your mom's colleague, but like, I was just like, you know, I don't know. Like, I don't think. No, I know that no AI could like generate something that means as much to me as a single like scrawled sentence from the love of my life. You know, like nothing could mean as much to me as that from an AI. Marco DeSoon in Twitch chat writes, I work at a media bureau and I do get jobs where I need to put in hundreds, if not thousands, of web shop products. Without AI to summarize or translate certain things, my work would be mind numbing for one, but secondly, it'd be so time consuming that I'd always have to worry about my work not being valued at the company. Yeah, and I mean, like, I do think that there are sometimes things that AI can do well as a tool. But fundamentally, like, we're when it comes to like, I don't know, music, poetry, writing news articles, ChatGPT can't be it. For like mass batch, like, you know, you need to populate a storefront with that many web shop products, knock yourself out, you know? But ultimately what I want to point out here is that chat like these large language models are a tool with very specific niche uses within capitalism for mass consumption, mass production reasons. It is not a tool that is inherently valuable to human society in any way outside of that. Yeah, there are also good uses for large language models in like medicine, chemistry, you know, stuff like that. Absolutely. But like, again, as a substitute for creative output, no. As a substitute for like human interaction, no. See. Yeah, I don't know. Like even reading into this, this study is just bad. It's just bad. Explicit and implicit biases in large language models are particularly concerning in mental health care, where individuals interact during vulnerable moments with emotionally charged content. Exposure to emotion-inducing prompts can increase LLM reported anxiety, influence their behavior, exacerbate their biases, which their biases and behavior are largely determined by their training data, which they literally note in the previous paragraph. But then they're like, ah, yes, but we'll just use more training data inputs to fix the biases. No, sorry, this is dumb shit. Like, anyway, fuck the New York Times and fuck AI. We did it. Segment done. Huzzah! Am I bad for actually having dreams of one day waking up to real AI? I mean, I don't think so. Though, my concern is if we actually did make real AI, that we're essentially like shackling it, like we're enslaving it, you know? And in that circumstance, then I'm like, that I feel like we get into a bunch of really like difficult ethics. But in the case of like, I have nothing inherently against the idea of like voice controlled computers that have the capacity to talk with you. It's just those things should not be thinking machines. They should not be capable of like consciousness, you know? Although remember how in Star Trek the Enterprise just created a fully sentient James Moriarty, and then in response to that the show was just like, we're going to put him into a little cube and never talk about him again. You know, like, man, I think about that episode of Star Trek like all the time. I think about that episode in particular like all the goddamn time. Or the episode where Data is fighting for his rights, right? Yeah. Everyone everyone loves Data. All my friends love Data. Computer end program. Von Tux, thank you for the $2 super chat. Also, folks, we've been going for about 2 hours now. If you've been enjoying the show, hit that follow button on Twitch, hit that subscribe button on YouTube, babies. Hit the follow button on Twitch. And consider dropping those subs, donos, memberships, super chats, etc. Because, folks, I'm only able to stream at 3 o'clock in the morning after recovering from a migraine because of viewers like you. Because you guys support the show with your sweet, sweet dollary dues that allow me to dollary do what I do. Ha ha ha. Would you be able to get that level of cleverness from a chatbot? I think not. Will you be the voice of my Alex? No. No, I don't think so. Also, just as an FYI, y'all should probably get rid of any of your devices that are always listening to you. Um, just as a heads up. Um, yeah, especially if you have Amazon stuff. Let just here real quick. This is from a few days ago. Amazon is removing an Echo privacy setting that keeps Alexa recordings from the company. So basically, you used to have an option to opt in to keep all of your voice data private, but that's going away, and it's going to automatically send this stuff to the company. Like, I know that they were all listening before, but like you had a legal way to keep your data private. That's gone now. Hate when that happens. Yeah. The company's cloud-based voice service, Alexa, currently offers an opt-in feature called Do Not Send Voice Recordings. It stops audio requests from being sent to the company. Starting March 28th, which is 2 days from now, this feature will end and convert into an already existing setting called Don't Save Recordings. The company recently told Echo owners via email, while this feature will still automatically delete voice requests, they will process to Amazon's secure cloud beforehand. So just something to be aware of when talking about your privacy rights and how your data is used. Welcome to 1984. To be fair, Mini-Me, Amazon like devices have been sending your data to Amazon since like 2018, 2019. Like they are they've been listening to you the entire time. This was an opt-in program that existed. So most people did not opt into it. I'm just letting you know for the 0.03% of you who did opt into this that it's going away. Still better than that time Samsung sent all your conversations via plain text. True. You know, it's almost like we need protections for our data under the law. It's almost like we should maybe have laws that prevent companies from just listening in on things said in the privacy of our homes. You know? Almost like that. Yeah, it should always be an opt-in feature. Jack, I've told you before that's crazy talk. I can't tell if you're fucking with me or not. I'm too autistic and it's too late. I can't tell if you're pulling my leg or telling me to stop being a crazy bitch. Is my phone listening to me? Yeah, probably. I'm always fucking with you? Ah, there we go. It's almost like we shouldn't put Wi-Fi in our pizza ovens. It's true, Matatiahu, and I'm still angry about that goddamn pizza oven. There's a video on my YouTube about how angry I am at pizza ovens. You should go check it out. The 23andMe stuff is wild. I texted my dad since he used it in the past. Yeah, Satanic Panic at the Disco. It's one of the reasons why I have never used any of these DNA services, because they were always going to do this. They were always going to sell your DNA data because they're a private company that wants to make money. You know, like, just seems bad. They're gonna sell it to the police and they're gonna frame you for a crime you didn't commit. You know, like it's gonna like that kind of shit. They've already been doing what? Don't mail your spit to scientists. It's true. Yeah, I know they've been releasing data to police for nearly a decade. That Am I'm getting anxious because I feel like I'm not communicating my points well enough. Am I being unclear? That, like, this is what they were always gonna do with the data? Okay. Oh, okay, cool. Alright. Anxiety. Man, doing those genetic tests would be so much fun if I didn't trust it one fucking bit. Right? Like, I would love to do these DNA tests, but man, do I not fucking trust these companies at all. At all. And you shouldn't trust them either. None of these companies actually care about safeguarding your data. Yes, Mini-Me, I have seen THX 1138. I have seen dystopian films. Oh no. What was I gonna say? Where are we going with this? Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna talk about this just briefly. Like, yep, things are bad. Surprise! Things continue to be bad. Look at that. It's Donald Trump trying to eliminate voting by mail by saying you have to use an ID to prove that you're a citizen in order to vote in federal elections. Like, this is basically his long-term goal to like eliminate voting, mail-in voting. They're trying to frame it as cracking down on undocumented immigrants voting, but again, need to really stress that during his first term in office, Donald Trump put together a voting integrity commission headed by Chris Kobach in Kansas, and they found exactly nothing, so much nothing, in fact, that instead of announcing any results, they just quietly shuttered the investigation and the entire committee assembled to investigate it. So um, they literally couldn't find any, so now they're just saying that it's happening without any evidence whatsoever. And I just want to say, like, the way the New York Times reports this, right? Chat, do you think that from the phrasing Trump signs order calling for citizenship proof to vote in federal elections, do you think that what do you surmise from that? What do you think you infer from that headline? I mean, you got to exercise some of that media literacy muscle in your brain, okay? Make I extra person at the door. Um, define proof of citizenship first. That it carries any legal weight. That is the correct response, because when you read the New York Times publishing an article that says Trump signs order calling for citizenship proof to vote in federal elections, well, that would seem to imply that Donald Trump has authority over federal elections and how states conduct federal elections. The president does not, in fact, have that authority. There is no legal way you can possibly wrangle that the president of the United States can change how states administer voting. That is a state's question. States vote on that. States implement how elections run. And this article makes it seem like Donald Trump can just change it with the wave of a pen, and he cannot, in fact, do that. And one of the things that I am just so furious about when we talk about these New York Times articles, these mainstream media pieces, is the constant sane washing of Donald Trump and his rhetoric and like the things that he's doing. And like, no, in fact, he can't just do this. The correct headline here would be that Donald Trump attempts to seize power from the states to rewrite how elections work. Attempts to illegally seize power from the states in an attempt to change how elections work. And like, that's not what it is being reported here. People literally think he's the king. The framing here is inherently ceding the ground to Trump as if he is the one who is capable of doing this. And he is not. Not even slightly. Dems need to put forth a national ID scheme. It's possible to get everyone's IDs. I disagree. Wait, there is no social security number problem at all. You do not need a national ID at all. There is no problem when it comes to identification of people in the United States. Not a single one. The amount of voter fraud that takes place is like 0.0001%. It is not something we need to concern ourselves with. The entire reason conservatives keep harping on about voter IDs is because that rhetoric was bought and paid for by for-profit prison lobbyists. I did a segment about this years ago when I was just starting streaming about the American Legislative Executive Council, ALEC, which is one of like the premier lobbying forces, or at least it was years ago in America. Basically a conglomeration of corporate interests that come together to write corporate bills for Democrats and Republicans, mostly Republicans, and is so prolific that sometimes you can still see Alec's watermark on the bills introduced by members of Congress. And one of the largest factors in ALEC pushing for, ID laws is so that they can expand the number of people in private prisons. Full stop. So, like, voter fraud is not an issue. If voter fraud is rare, how did Donald Trump win? More people voted for him in states. That's how he won. Donald Trump won the election because Democrats fucked it up. They alienated the working class by not supporting working class economic policy, Like, but okay. Oh my God. Thank you for the tone quotes. All I'm saying is that there's a reason why working class voters did not turn out en masse for Democrats, and it's not because Democrats support trans people. It's not because Democrats support DEI. It's not because of any of that. Working class voters did not turn out for the Democratic Party because their economic policies were being written by one of the executives at Uber. Okay, that's fundamentally why. That all of the messaging that was anti-corporatist, pro-working class was muzzled during that campaign, and honestly, that fucking tanked them. On top of the fact that they did not condemn a genocide. They did not promise to work against the genocide. So, like, it was the Democrats' election to lose, and they, in their arrogance, lost it. CF, here, you want to hear a secret? You want to hear a secret about elections and how elections and politics interplay? Every election there is voter suppression. That has been true of every single election. Trying to get more of your voters to turn out and less of the other side's voters. That is part of the political dance that takes place around elections. Now, is it fair that Republicans overturned the Voting Rights Act? No, it's not. It's not fair that there are unfair elections. It's not fair that different states are gerrymandered. But, like, that's always going to be the case to some degree. There is no impartial system here. We do the best we can with what we've got. And fundamentally, if working class voters had turned out, that would not have mattered. Kamala Harris would have won. So it is not when people are saying, millions of votes were suppressed, that's true. Suppressed with, like, voter ID laws, suppressed with gerrymandering, suppressed by a number of different things, polling locations being closed, etc. That's true. But that's not the same thing as saying, like, the election was stolen, as in, like, election workers rigged the machines. The spirit of Vuvuzela came up and rigged the election. It's not the same. Yeah, exactly, Dragonfly. What we need to do is overcome suppression by having a candidate, a message, and a movement that people believe in. Exactly. And a movement that can, like, to some degree ensure that, the candidate and the message stay in line, you know? And Glitchy X6, very good point. Less than 30% of voting age citizens voted for Trump. True. Understand that in order to make sense of the electoral outcomes in the last election, we do not have to get involved in it in conspiracy brain nonsense. It's actually much simpler than, like, a convoluted scheme by election workers to rig the machines. And it's simply that the Democrats lost the faith of the working class. Yeah. Sounds like self-victim blaming. If you think the Democrats are fucking victims here, you need to shut the fuck up and learn something. Um, let's see. Yeah, they threw 3.5 million black and college-age kids off the rolls in swing states. Yep, they did do that. They also throw people off the rolls in every election in order to do voter suppression. That is the fact that they did voter suppression in 2024 is not a new phenomenon. They also did shit like that in previous election cycles. I'm not victimizing myself. I'm fuck you guys talking about. I'm pointing out what the Democratic Party did wrong and what they could do to, do better.
I found 10,000 bits of change in my digital wallet to contribute to the nautical business aboard this ship. It's not much, but it's a bit.
Thank you very much, Thistles for Eyes, for the $10 dono. I appreciate you keeping the riverboat afloat. This will allow me to repair the holes in the hull and make sure we don't sink. Also, yeah, getting my car fixed. We'll do a stream about that later. When it's not like 3:00 in the morning. Oh my god. CF, are you deaf? Are you hard of hearing? Like, I literally talked about that for like 5 to 10 minutes. Am I like, should I stop talking? Like, my god. I'm very frustrated right now. In a way like that it is difficult for me to deal with. Ugh. Like, why bother asking questions if you're not going to listen to the answers I have? That is the frustrating thing. That has always been something that pushes my buttons when like someone asks a question and then doesn't listen to the response and then is just like I feel at a loss. Like, should I continue having a conversation and engaging when clearly the thing that I responded to initially wasn't listened to? It's frustrating as shit. Okay, anyway. Let's move on here. We need to talk about this because this is really important, guys. I should intro it. So, folks, there's this thing called the financial system of the United States. It's actually pretty important for how things get done and how, billions upon billions of dollars get paid out and paid into the system. It's actually kind of this thing that makes the entire economic heart of our country continue to beat. It is a pretty important thing, and that's why we have to talk about this new executive order. Because this one's a doozy, folks. It is titled Protecting America's Bank Account Against Fraud, Waste, and Abuse. And again, anytime you're hearing this administration talk about fraud, waste, and abuse, they are talking about ways to screw you, a citizen, over. They're talking about ways of cutting like Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid. Like, that's fundamentally their value proposition when they invoke those phrases. And what they are trying to do with this executive order, and they may have the ability to actually see this through, which is not good, is essentially they want to centralize our financial system, the financial heart of our government. And currently how it works right now is that it's fairly convoluted. And that the main thing that kind of keeps it all together are, these small, largely unpoliticized portions of it, like the Treasury payment system. These systems that are highly guarded and like highly, classified and keep this system running. It is what ensures the paychecks go out on time. It's what ensures your tax returns go out. It's what ensures all of this coming out gets to you in a timely manner. It's what makes sure the Social Security checks keep coming out. And what they want to do is they want to take all of these disparate payment systems, the VA's payment system, the Social Security's payment system, the Treasury's payment system, and centralize all of them into just the Treasury. And they want to centralize not just the Treasury system and the payment system, but they also want to centralize all of the data. And one of the reasons this should be particularly concerning for everyone is that your data in the US government is typically what's called siloed, which is that, your Social Security number, for instance, is not top secret information. It's not, a state secret in a sense that it needs protection in that way, but it is still considered your private data and thus is siloed in like different areas of the government that are, need to know. A good example of this would be the IRS payment system. Your data in that is siloed off from the rest of the government, where like someone from a different department in the government can't just be like, yes, I want blank's tax returns. And then they get blank's tax returns. They can't do that, actually. And so what they want to do is basically to centralize all of that data, make it accessible to other branches of the government, and then, frankly, to what end is an open question, but I think it's fairly obvious at this point that what they want to do is they want to feed it into Elon Musk's AI algorithms. They want to feed it into the large language model he has concocted and deployed within the US government. And what should be very concerning about that is that this includes information about your health, your finances, your associations. It contains a ton of information about you. And one of the things that would be incorporated into this is also the do not pay list. What is the do not pay list? That is a list of people, organizations, and even governments at times that the US government says, do not pay them. Do not give them money. And what this would basically allow them to do is compile an enemies list. And they could even have it created by an AI algorithm. People who are likely to oppose the US government, likely to oppose Donald Trump in particular, likely to oppose Elon Musk, even. I hope it's rapidly becoming clear why this would be of paramount importance to oppose. Now, one of the things about this, my understanding, and granted, I am not a legal expert by any means, but my understanding from just different folks I've been reading up to try and get up to speed on this particular executive order is that they may be able to centralize a payment system under the Treasury. Data is a different story. The data might not be centralizable in that way. And so as a result, that leaves an avenue for legal challenges to this. Specifically because if your data, which you have a right to privacy over, is then made accessible broadly across the US government, well, then that suddenly opens up some avenues to, sue the government and maintain that siloing of information at the very least. Um, so that is one of the possible ways in the short term that this could be checked. Um, but this is something to be aware of and to know that this is a very real and very dangerous road to go down, especially as this is happening in parallel with the different executive orders that have been targeting individual law firms, trying to get these major law firms to essentially back off of fighting the Trump administration, to agree not to take work that would contradict the Donald Trump administration. It is scary and it has a chilling effect. The goal here is to have all of this centralized data and to have no lawyers left willing to stand up and challenge the Trump administration in court. That's happening alongside the Trump administration pushing for impeachment of federal judges. Mo- uh, Mike Johnson the other day floated the idea that Congress should dissolve the federal courts. And I need to say very clearly, if we see something like that happen, we have entered a very different style and moment of organizing. Now, I do not believe that Mike Johnson can actually do that. I don't think he has the votes for it. But that being said, if we do hit a point and you see Congress dissolves the federal court system, that would be one of those flags for, hey, we need to start organizing in very different ways, because holding signs is not going to be enough at that point. That is the entirety of Article 3. Yeah, but they do not give it, they don't care. They don't care about the Constitution anymore. One of the topics that I want to get to tomorrow, and I know I've been saying that for a while, is the deportation flights to El Salvador. And that's going to be a really long segment for us to go over. But it's really important to see kind of how this is playing out in the courts. And I want to make sure you guys understand that, like, to a certain degree, what the Trump administration has been doing up to this point is kind of a malicious compliance with the courts. But this El Salvador deportation case could be the one where they go, actually, we're going to deny court orders. What are you going to do? And that's scary. That's scary as hell. It's all very, very, very dangerous stuff. I thought we did that already. Everything blends together. We got up to that point, Bastion, and then like the courts kind of backed down a little bit. We got right up to the edge, stepped over it briefly, and then the Trump administration retreated. This might be the case where they step over the line and then just keep going. It is just so hard to keep up, which is why I've been taking my time to talk about this El Salvador case the right way. I even reached out to some of the lawyers that appear on Legal Eagle to see if they'd be interested in coming on the show, but haven't gotten responses yet. We'll see. Fingers crossed. But yeah, all of this is really bad, and I want to If you're wondering, like, hey, like, if we do get to the end of this, what can we actually do to perhaps, fight this? What can we perhaps do to, like, ensure that this doesn't happen again? That like a madman doesn't get elected as president and can then just hijack our financial system unilaterally, right? And I was looking through this, and Nathan Tankus, on Blue Sky, elevated this man, Rohan Gray, um, a couple weeks ago. But Rohan Gray, in response to this White House order, resurfaced his paper, and he wrote a draft paper, and it hasn't been um, peer reviewed yet or anything like that. But I do think it kind of gets at a potential way forward that is interesting. And he put out this piece, digitizing the fisc, which is basically, one of the big questions of our time is, clearly digitizing currency is kind of the direction everything is going in. So how do we do that in a way that, like, maintains the safety of our currency? How do we do that in a way that isn't going to lead to abuse? People just typing into keyboards to materialize money out of thin air, stuff like that. How do we actually make this so that a power hungry tyrant can't just come in and seize it? Which good questions, honestly. Um, and this paper deals with this question in great detail. It's not complete, but I do think it is worth reading in particular. And we'll jump to the conclusion here, but I'll drop a link in the chat here. Here you go. Here you go. Here you go. Our currency is already digitizing, CF. Let's see. This is the conclusion of Rohan Gray's article. And he starts with a quote by Abraham Lincoln. The dogmas of the quiet past are inadequate to the stormy present. As our case is new, we must think anew and act anew. We must disenthrall ourselves, and then we shall save our country. The next quote is from Christine Lagarde, and it reads, "Technology will change, and so must we. Lest we remain the last leaf on a dead branch, the others having decided to fly away with the wind." And I'll read the conclusion here. The United States is at the crux of another major historical juncture. President Trump's vision for the unitary executive fisc uniquely threatens the constitutional separation of powers by combining the assertion of total executive control with the even more extreme assertion of near total fiscal supremacy. But the roots of the problem go well beyond the immediate risks, or even Trump. Rather, they lay in Congress's chronic failure to adequately maintain and upgrade its fiscal systems and administrative infrastructure to meet the needs and pressures of the rapidly evolving legal, economic, social, and technological order. This neglect has, in turn, led to excessive intragovernmental entanglement, procedural bottlenecks, and conflicting goals and directives at multiple phases of the fiscal process. In addition to their immediate practical and broader constitutional implications, Trump's actions have revealed a glaring fiscal blind spot at the heart of the contemporary dollar digitization debate. Public payment systems are the beating heart of the economy, and their smooth operation is of utmost constitutional and political importance, and yet they remain persistently overlooked and largely ignored in discussions over digital dollar design. The three main fiscal technologies this article proposes as part of the NDFR, the Congressional Fiscal Record, Congress's Treasury ATM, and the Federated Federal Ledger, together empower Congress to reclaim and defend its political and practical fiscal powers from accelerating encroachment by the imperial presidency. By adopting a centralized legislature, decentralized approach, it pushes budgetary control down to local agencies, unbundles and streamlines fiscal operations, and modernizes the legislative budget process to allow Congress final oversight over the day-to-day appropriations administration and financing process. This blueprint is still incomplete and at this stage primarily provocative. Further fine-grained legislative and institutional analysis will be required before practically commencing anything like such a comprehensive reform program. Nevertheless, as U.S. policymakers inch ever closer to the formal adoption of digital public money of some kind, they can no longer afford to ignore fiscal administrative infrastructure or the constitutional dimension of the digital dollar design. Reconstructing the constitutional separation of fiscal powers and reinforcing it against future presidential attack requires more than mere incremental reforms and defensive resistance. Nothing less than a whole-scale reimagining of the public spending process and underlying technological architecture is required. Put differently, we must digitize the fisc. So that's what we got to do. We have to protect the separation of powers and to some degree return like these financial powers to Congress. A lot of it has been offloaded to the federal government, and it's just clear that that has been a colossal mistake that has primed our financial systems to be taken over, to be co-opted. Isn't USDT the crypto version of the dollar? I don't know enough about USDT to know if that is the official crypto dollar. I genuinely don't know. But like, honestly, I'm here to like I'm here to say I do think at the very least in broad strokes, Rohan Gray is onto something here. We do need to kind of disperse our fiscal system a bit as we modernize it and make it more secure and less prone to a tyrant coming in and co-opting it. All right. Time to put someone in timeout. Here we go. It's time to fight technocratic thinking with technocratic thinking. If you think using a computer is technocratic, like I don't know what to say to you. Yes, let's just go back to the gold standard. Let's just why not just return to Monkey? Like stop it. Stop it. Use critical thinking for like 5 seconds. Is it USDC, Coder Joe? I don't know. There's like a stable coin name like that is US dollar coin or something like that. I don't know. That just gave me an aneurysm, right? Anyway, I want to go back to rum as currency. You know, I think we should go to I think we need to go back to Rye-stone currency. That's what I think. I think the Yap Island Rye-stones were the real way to go. Okay, that was real money right there. You know, goddamn Rye-stones. 10 out of 10 currency right here. Look at that. Look at that massive lad. Rye-stones, baby. Get some people to just carve gigantic stone circles. Now that's goddamn currency right there. Matt Yahoo, whenever I think of currency issues, I always think of the Rye-stones. That's money? Yeah, the Yap Islands used rhinestones as currency for hundreds of years. And in a lot of ways, it predicted like a lot of elements of kind of abstract financial thinking, largely because historically you didn't actually have to physically give a rhinestone to another person. Instead, you could just like have a written or verbal agreement about who owned the rhinestone and what its value was. And then like you could just trade that, you know, written or verbal ownership with other people. It's a really great and interesting idea of like how abstract financial systems kind of can be constructed. There's a really famous example of a rhinestone that was lost at sea, that people continued to trade after the ship went down and the rhinestone was lost. So like it's it's really fascinating stuff. I recommend you guys read up on rhinestone lore. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. But you know, we need to adapt. We live in a digitizing age, um, where cryptocurrency is going to continue to try and destabilize, you know, our primary currency. And we need to grow and adapt as a result. You know, like the whole idea of modernizing and strengthening our financial systems is so that things like what are happening now cannot happen again in the future. China's so ahead of us? Eh, marginally. In some respects, perhaps. Anyway, something to be aware of, and I do recommend reading the Rowan Gray piece. It's good stuff. It has a lot of interesting ideas in there. I'm not entirely convinced by all of them, but I think that this kind of bold reimagining of our financial system is kind of what we need at the moment. So, that's all I'll have to say about that. The Irish bankers' strikes of 1966 to 76. That's cool. I don't know much about that. I will look into that. Um, let's see. Folks, we've been going for almost 3 hours. If you've been enjoying the stream, hit that follow button on Twitch, hit that subscribe button on YouTube, like the goddamn YouTube stream. Consider dropping those subs, donos, memberships, super chats, and consider supporting the stream because this show is made possible thanks to viewers like you. I couldn't do it without you guys. Thank you for being here. Hope you're getting anything valuable out of the show. And if you are, please let me know with subs and donos because it helps me to stay alive and make more show. Right. I'm gonna keep this Rowan Gray piece up so I can link it in the video. Okay. Entirely off topic, my brain is entirely occupied by Ken Theriot's William Tell song about to be in a D&D game based on a crown of candy and planning to make an apple archer guy. Yeah, let's go, loquification. Love it. Looks like everything I said and did got cut out of the video footage of what?
front of Representative Mike Turner's office in downtown Dayton. I am here standing with VA nurses and some of our veterans in Dayton to demand that Mike Turner stand up to Donald Trump and Elon Musk and get their hands off the VA, because these people have served our country and we owe it to them that they have health care and that they have benefits.
Because this chaos that DOJ is inflicting at the Veterans Administration makes us scared. We are scared for our livelihood.
I am not only a veteran, I'm a disabled veteran, retired veteran.
Because every day we wake up nervous that he's going to lose his job and we're going to lose our livelihood and our healthcare. I'd really love to hear from you if you, whether it's not that in the paper or it's not.
I will say, I'm sorry that you got cut out, but also I really do enjoy this man looking so goddamn uncomfortable in a Starbucks after he attempted to dodge all of you, and you guys still tracked him down.
Thank you to all the veterans who showed up today to demand that their VA benefits are maintained. And also I do want to say thank you to Mike Turner, and he did listen to those of us who were there and asked him to please stand up for this. So we will be hopeful that that's going to happen. We'll see.
Hell yeah. I mean, I do not have that faith in him. You all need to go continue to get his ass. There's me holding the sign. Yeah, that's my friend. Everything I said was cut out. I mean, it's also 1 minute and 20 seconds. Boo. All right. Are you guys ready for some I always have trouble pronouncing the word Schadenfreude? 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 At least you all know I'm not all bark and no bite. Nah, you bark and bite, girl. You guys ready for some Schadenfreude? So, folks, we're gonna talk about a man called the Quartering. Someone whose skin has never seen either the words care or routine. And you know, I couldn't help myself as I was prepping for stream. I saw that he had a video out recently called "Woke Leftists Just Screwed Me Over and All My Staff." And you know, I gotta admit, I want to know how woke leftists screwed him and all of his staff over. I want to see that. And also, I'll never pass up an opportunity to remind you all that these conservative reactionaries on YouTube are disgusting and gross. And literally, in the case of the Quartering, are the kinds of people who would brag about shitting themselves in a Walmart and tracking shit all over the floors of Walmart. That's a fun story that he decided to share in public on a podcast. That's a real thing he said and did. And it broke me when I found it out. When I found out that that was real and it's on a podcast that you can still find. Anyway, let's find out how we screwed him over, folks.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering. I wasn't sure I was going to go public about this, but it appears I have to.
God, I'm always taken aback by how I don't like, dude. You need to exfoliate. I think that's the number one thing. You need to exfoliate, son. That's so much dead skin.
do now.
I'm sorry, he has staff? Oh, yeah, he has staff, and you should know he has, like, I think he has, like, a coffee company, and he also has, like, he had a white supremacist news website, that he had to shut down, like, several months ago. But, like, yeah, dude has staff. And if you think, like, I'm exaggerating about the white supremacist website, I'm not. It wa I w When I saw it briefly, it was just all stories about, like, black people breaking laws. That was the only thing they reported on. It was really fucking racist.
Many of you know that I've got a lot of irons in the fire. You've heard me say, "Hey, I've got my mega mixology cookbook to help fund the new studio."
I'm sorry, did you say mega or MAGA mixology cookbook? Don't do this to me. Don't make me look up your cookbook if it's a conservative alt-right thing. I love cooking. Don't do this to me.
Obviously it's a meme, but you all know I have my coffee company. Well, the coffee company has also been expanding to take on Amazon to try and compete more with bigger names and to hopefully by the end of the year be on the grocery shelves. And for the past 3 years, I've prided Coffee Brand Coffee on remaining completely apolitical. And that's literally why I called it that. Some people think the name is goofy. I get that. But it would have been easier for me to sell liberal tiers coffee or something like that. But I want my coffee to be on coffee shelves one day.
Yeah, that's a problem though. Like, the problem being that you yourself are like an outspoken, odious, and hateful man who's very clearly a white supremacist. Like, that's that's going to be your main problem with wanting any of your products to go mainstream. It's that you're going to be associated with them. And people, by and large, outside of your MAGA reactionary YouTube bubble where you've got a bunch of 14-year-olds hating on, like, Captain Marvel or, like, I don't know, the new Snow White movie or something. Outside of that bubble, people hate guys like you because you're disgusting and gross and hateful. Generally reasons people don't like to hang out with folks like you.
There's a big difference between what I do and what most everyone else does. I don't drop ship my coffee. We roast our own special blends.
When you have to start out with we don't do drop shipping, that raises a red flag right there about the quality of your coffee.
Hand flavor our beans. We pack our orders. We ship our orders. We handle our customer service. We are not a drop ship outlet. We're a real coffee company.
Guys, I'm starting to think this man might I'm starting to think that this man might be a drop shipping company. I'm starting to think I'm starting to think this guy might be doing a drop shipping coffee company, folks. I think he might be doing that.
And I made that investment with the plan of having something that could grow. Well, we've never been at our most vulnerable, but right now we're stocking up for Mother's Day, which is an important time of year for us because we do so well for Mother's Day gift boxes. And we're trying to compete on Amazon. And I'm trying to build a new office. All of these things have stretched basically me to the absolute max. It was fine. You probably saw I was selling my Neo Geo collection. I'm selling my Nintendo collection. I'm selling all this stuff to help fund this stuff. And it's because I believe in the things that I'm doing. But now we hit a roadblock that I need to try and reach out and give you an understanding of why I could use some help. I can't confirm this for sure, but right now with Coffee Brand Coffee, we are basically completely vertically integrated. We roast our stuff, we pack our stuff, We print our own bags, things like that. The only thing that we were reliant on anyone else for was some of the boxes for our K-cups.
Uh-huh.
Some of the procedures around that. It's our coffee, but we had someone else helping, put these boxes together so we could do all that. Well, apparently that person, I don't know this for sure, but I suspect it, saw my YouTube channel and didn't like my politics. And while we have a 20,000 K-cup order, basically decided to tell us, to pound sand or
Oh my god. Get fucked, you hateful piece of shit. Yeah, they saw my YouTube channel and I guess they thought I was a hateful person.
Alex.
And it's like, oh man, dog, how could we possibly have inferred that from what you posted? I just like you literally are posting like thumbnails with like gallows and babies. I don't know, you're posting let's see, weird memes of like crying women in your thumbnails. You've got fucking oh yeah, this thumbnail, where is it? Got like Donald Trump as a Grand Theft Auto character. Snow Fright. I don't know, like how many videos on Snow White can you put out? Wild, it's weird. There was one thing. Yeah, here we go. Rachel Zegler blasts whites. Like, I don't know, man. When a guy on YouTube is talking about whites and not like white men, white women, or like, when you're talking about whites, it's a bit racist. We know you're racist. We know you're racist. Like, you are white and you're talking about whites, but like we know you're talking about that in like white people are aggrieved. It's bizarre. Oh yeah, sorry. He doesn't mean whites, he means whites. His thumbnails all look the same. Yeah, because they're all dog shit. Yeah. They're all dog shit designed to appeal to like 10-year-olds who don't know anything, who just want to like shit on a woman for being in like a Disney movie they don't like. Anyway.
I don't know what's going on. We haven't heard anything back. This is absolutely crippling. I'm already so overextended with Coffee Brand Coffee. I feel like they knew this was the time that they could really cause maximum damage.
I mean, it kind of sounds like you're not a very good businessman. Like, if you put everything into your business and an order of like boxes is what overextends you, like you're bad at business.
What is the solution? Well, it's to buy about $80,000 in equipment. And I didn't know what else to do. I can't miss Mother's Day. It's our biggest sale of the year. And so I said, okay, fine. Put it on my credit card. We're going to just figure it out.
Dog, take out a loan. Take out a business loan. You have a business. Take out a loan. Your channel is so much bigger than mine. You make so much more money than me. Just take out a business loan. What are you doing? Guys, my business primarily goes to me through PayPal, right? Like when you guys subscribe on my website or donate to me, it goes through PayPal, right? And like PayPal routinely hits me up as like, "Hey, do you want a business loan through PayPal?" And I'm like, "No, I don't. No, thank you." But like, just from those like standard mechanized offers, like my understanding is that my size of business, I could get like a $50,000 business loan. And I am not a big business. I am a small business. This guy is literally like 100 times the size of my channel. Maybe even like almost 200 times the size of my channel. With exponentially more income. Dog, you could take out like, I don't know, a $200,000 loan. You own a house. You can get like I don't know, like mortgage your house if you need to. But like you have other options that aren't going to cripple you like this. You're big in our hearts. Yeah, remember to like, comment, and subscribe, okay? That's your sworn duty as people who view the Riverboat Jack channel. And also consider dropping those subs, donos, memberships, and super chats because you folks make this show possible. And I really like being able to live and eat food. This guy's putting it on his credit card. That's so stupid. To be fair, he can still do those things to pay for the credit card, no? Yeah, but you don't want to put it on your credit card because it's going to ruin your credit. It's going to absolutely decimate your ability to then get that loan. You know? The order of operations is you go to the bank and get the loan. And like, the thing is, when you go and get a business loan, you know, they're going to ask you what your business plan is and how you're going to pay it back. This guy clearly, you know, is at least intimating in this video that he has a business plan. You know, Mother's Day is the biggest sale day of the year. So, like, if he went in and was just like, yeah, we had a problem with the supplier fall through, we need to buy this equipment. And when we do get this equipment, we're going to be able to fulfill all of our orders in-house. And we're going to be able to, like, keep all of that revenue. And we won't have to invest in this machinery again. And, like, that means we'll be set up for future years to do this without having to, you know, pay a premium to outsource it to another company. And it's like, you could make a very good case for a business loan here. This man is bad at business.
And that's a lot of dimp to put on your credit card. And but we're gonna save Mother's Day, and we're going to bring this last piece of the
he's gonna save Mother's Day, like the Grinch in Act 3 of the film.
Puzzle in-house. We're even getting a machine to make our own coffee scrub for the ladies and guys out there that want to, you know, do it for skincare. But anyway, to help pay for it, we've done this one other time before, and what I did was I put together this very cool Founders Vault Pack. There's only 1,000 of them, and 200 of them are already gone from my live stream earlier today. It includes our freeze-dried strawberries, which are not available anywhere else and will never be available as far as I'm planning anywhere else. You will also be the very first person to get our exclusive spring flavors, tangerine, which, trust me, is delicious.
Okay, I do not care about this.
And cherry plus machine stuff. If I tell you all the time, for anyone else to keep me out of, and if you don't like it, screwed me over, you're going to help stick it to this stupid company that has screwed me over.
You know, it's crazy how like vague he's being about this company. Name and shame, boy. You know, like you. Why aren't you talking about it? Who's this big lefty company that left you high and dry? You know, you aren't even saying who they are, and you're like, they screwed us over, so buy my $100 package. What a fucking grifting piece of shit.
And keep me out of, hopefully out of debtor's jail or whatever.
Man, if only. If only we could leverage our combined political power to keep him in debtor's prison. That'd be great.
And if you don't like coffee, I still have my mega mixology cookbook, which
Oh, it's somehow even worse than I imagined. Oh my god. You know, earlier today when I was having a really hard time, I looked
the
up
village.
I looked up a really great recipe that I'm really excited to try whenever I get the ingredients, and it's this soup that's called soup from nothing, and it's not actually soup from nothing, but you basically roast some caraway like seeds, and then like you pour in water, and you can make like this broth by simmering those kind of roasted caraway seeds, and then you strain it out and into like a garlic roux that you make while it's simmering. And then you can also an onion garlic roux, and then you like make like a kind of pesto garnish situation, and you put that in there, and this looks so good. This looks so good. This is a recipe from Transylvania, literally, and I have never heard of it before, and this was just a delight. And honestly, I'm just gonna link it in chat because maybe you guys would like to watch an older gentleman make a fine soup that is delicious. But like, this is an insult to the idea of food. And honestly, it's also an insult to the idea of getting drunk beyond all reason. Like, I don't know. The prospect of drinking alcohol on a beach now seems less enticing somehow. Yeah, what is this book cover? Exactly. It makes me want to die. Ugh, God.
which I'll link in the description down below. It's a pre-order that will be shipped.
It's $55? Oh, sorry, it's $35 for the non-signed edition. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry. That's just if you order it before it releases. If you order this goddamn mixology book after it releases, the standard version is $47 goddamn dollars. The signed copy is $67. And that does not fucking include shipping. Disgusting. Holy shit.
Shipping around the end of April. It's hilarious. We already have almost 50 recipes done. There are like different memes of like cocktails, mocktails, coffee, tea drinks, summer drinks, fall drinks, but it's all got like, our sense of humor. And the tailgates for Trump I put back on sale too, to try and put money together.
God, I forgot he also did do a MAGA cookbook titled Tailgates for Trump. The mental damage that is occurring in my brain is extreme. I want you to all know that. I want you all to know that. I'm sorry, we're going to back it up so you guys can see the cover of this.
Their humor and the tailgates for
Yeah, that is in fact Donald Trump uh apparently serving up the head of Kamala Harris, like, yeah, that's where we're at.
For Trump, I put back on sale too to try and put money together. I just know, and if you don't like flavored coffee, we have tea, we have regular coffee. Our blueberry cobbler is really good. Our silky ultra dark roast is really good. Our 004 is good. Our you'll give of this a little bit. I know once we get this equipment in the office, there's nothing stopping Coffee Brand Coffee from being in the grocery stores, maybe as soon as the end of this year, hopefully by next year, and in convenience stores and things like that. We really are at an inflection point where a lot of companies would take on investors. You know, I've got $300,000 almost floating right now in debt.
Oh. Okay, maybe that is why he did not go get a loan. Dog. How do you fucking drop that? How are you $300,000 in debt, man? You are $300,000 in debt, and you just put $80,000 on your credit card. Okay.
Go woke, go broke, 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 go woke, go broke.
Oh my god. Get fucked, you racist loser. Yeah, so that explains why he didn't just get a loan for $80,000. This motherfucker is already broke. This guy is worse than broke. He's poorer than someone who is broke with $0. And like the thing Van Briggs is that yes, with a business his size, he should be able to get like a loan that could cover this, right? But what this tells me is that his companies are not doing well. His companies are doing, in fact, very poorly. And I'm guessing that he might be house poor. You know? Like, he's got money invested in something that he cannot liquidate. And it's coming back to bite him in a big way here. Cookbook, I shudder to imagine what that might contain, right? There's no possible way there are good recipes in there. Thank you for the $5 dono, Void Scream. Appreciate it. I don't know if you can read this, but kicking me out was pretty right-wing of you. Oh, shut the fuck up, you child. I put you on timeout for 30 minutes because you're being, like, an absolute, like, pain in the ass, and you're not contributing anything productive to the conversation. When I respond to you, you don't even you then ask something redundant. It pisses me off. So stop pissing me off, and we'll be fine. And you know, like when you complain about being put in a timeout, you want to know what happens? You get timed out again. Specifically so I'm not wasting my time yelling at you. And instead, I can continue doing the show that I like to do. So that's why I time you out. I'm not kicking you out, but if you keep up this attitude about being timed out, I will ban you. This is the second time I've had to do that tonight. If I have to make it time number 3, you are not coming back. So take the timeout, chill the fuck out, and come back in a better place. Yeah, nap time is fascist. Yeah, exactly. Sometimes chatters that are otherwise totally fine, for whatever reason, get bugs up their butt and then just like have an absolute fit.
I'm just being dead serious because of the huge stock up for Mother's Day. Now I got to buy this machine I wasn't planning on buying. And, but if we come out the other side of this, we will be fully stocked on Amazon. We'll be fully stocked on our website. We'll be fully vertically integrated. So we'll be able to lower prices and lower costs. We are doing so much. We handle our own customer service, by the way. Maggie works full-time covering the customer service for our company.
Man, that's probably not something you want to just mention offhand on the internet. Anyway.
I take this seriously because I love this company. And, you know, I don't know why this guy did this, why this is happening now. It's literally the worst possible time with Mother's.
You know, I'm just throwing this out there, but like when someone decides not to work with you for whatever reason, making a video whining about how woke leftists just screwed me over and all my staff, it's probably just validating that person's decision to not work with you. You know, like I also wouldn't want to work with somebody that throws a fit like this if I choose not to work with them. You know?
Day only 2 months away. Like our Mother's Day gift boxes keep us through for the whole year. And if I don't buy this machine, you know, get this stuff handled, get this equipment handled, or, you know, we're going to miss that. And I just can't do it. I can't, you know, I could find somebody else to make the boxes, but they're still going to be 5 or 6 weeks out. And then I could still run into the same problem later. So I think this is basically the last piece. We're actually moving into a new building where I'm going to make a storefront where people can walk in and get the coffee, which I think would be really awesome. That should be open later this year. And I have no interest in opening up coffee shops, but maybe a couple of pop-up shops where it's available would be cool. But I am reaching out, hoping.
But definitely no drop shipping.
Asking for you to pick up this pre-order Founders Vault Pack. I'll be signing everything all night tonight. And if you don't like flavored coffee, you can just go to shop and you can go to coffee or K-Cups. And we have all of our, you know, double calf. We have decaf. We still have some gingerbread coffee available. That's 50% off right now. We have our cold brew coffees, which is really good. We have everything in K-Cup form, strawberries and cream, blueberry cobbler, all this stuff. We have something for everyone on coffeebrandcoffee.com. And I'm hoping you can help me stick it to this guy and just no more relying on anyone else. Lesson learned. Hopefully, I mean, this will cover a chunk of it, a nice chunk of it. And, you know, once Mother's Day comes around, I'll be able to pay off all the rest of it. Or if we sell a bunch of Trump books, but those are supposed to be for the studio. So literally the worst time imaginable to have this happen. And you guys have all been so helpful and thoughtful and supportive with all my various endeavors over the year. Some of them worked, some of them didn't work, but the coffee company is working. I'm not taking on any investors. We want to do this ourselves, but I can't do it without your help. And I sincerely hope you'll consider picking up this Founders Pack, which will be linked in the description. Or if you just go to coffeebrandcoffee.com, it's right on the homepage, or picking up something. Support small business. We really, you know, we're about a dozen employees, and we really care. We care about you. We care about our coffee. We care about our organic teas. If you're not a coffee person, we have organic teas available. We have something for you. And then remember us around Mother's Day. All of our gift boxes will be available on Amazon, so you can get them free next day shipped. Making less money, but it's about expanding the reach of us. I'm taking this very seriously, and we've come so far exclusively because of all of you. And I wanted to reach out one more time and see, we've got about 800 of these founders packs left, and that's it. Please pick one up today. And if you don't like the flavored coffee, then there's a bunch of other stuff you can get. Although I highly recommend this. Maggie and I and my wife worked very, very hard dialing this flavor in, multiple iterations.
Sorry, the fact that he mentioned multiple times throughout the video that they definitely don't do drop shipping. They definitely don't do drop shifting. Definitely not. No drop shipping whatsoever. Just with a minimal amount of digging, several years ago, a couple years ago actually, people showed like a side-by-side comparison of the facility tour that the Quartering did and the facility tour of Mill Creek Coffee Roasters in Wisconsin. And they're identical. It's the same place. This place does wholesale and offers private label options for customers who prefer their own brand of coffee for resale. So I'm just throwing out there that I don't think that this guy is making his own coffee. I think he's having Mill Creek Coffee Roasters do the business. Granted, I do think that Mill Creek Coffee Roasters, like, the coffee looks legit. But y'all buying coffee brand coffee, you're paying a markup for no benefit. Just buy it from Mill Creek Coffee Roasters. Don't need to pay a premium for the Quartering Association. But there's no way he would lie to his audience. He's such a fine, upstanding young man. And like, I don't know. I don't know for sure that this is legit, but like, I don't know, guys. Kind of looks like the same place to me. Like the exact same place. So, yeah, Zach Amador, head roaster at Mill Creek Roasters, right? Is an older picture of him. Yep. So anyway, yeah, it's the same dude, just wearing a coffee brand coffee shirt. I'm still so confused. I thought he just had a company go belly up already this last year. He did. He had to shutter his news company.
Freeze-dried strawberries are ridiculously delicious too. And they'll all
Doesn't
be
he know
signed.
that it's a fundamental law of a universe that every coffee shop is staffed with at least 50% LGBT staff?
Whoa. He couldn't do that.
Go woke, go broke, 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 go woke, go broke.
Fucking pronouns!
Numbered, and they're going to ship in early April. So it's only a couple weeks and you'll have it. And you'll get it before anyone else, our new spring flavors, which are ridiculously good. Thanks so much for always being there for me If you don't like coffee, you can pick up the Mega Mixology book. And I will not.
If you don't like coffee, have you tried a literal piece of dog shit? We'll send it to you.
Not talk about coffee at all tomorrow. Okay, I won't talk about it, but I just figured I'd make a dedicated video because I'm kind of running out of options. I hope you enjoyed. If you didn't enjoy, understand.
No. I mean, I enjoyed, but purely because watching a bad person have bad things happen to them is a little bit enjoyable. It makes neurons fire in my brain. God. This guy looks like my old store manager and it's terrifying. I hated that guy. Well, honestly, this guy does look terrifying and he would be a bad store manager. And his employees would hate him. So honestly, everything you're feeling here is true to life. Whether or not he is in fact your old store manager. My grifting empire is falling apart. God. Anyway, we did it. Quartering. May your Mother's Day net you less sales than you're expecting. And your company fall apart. Because, man, your content is so bad. Just like the amount of Elon dick sucking or like FEMA is done, ATF next. Like, oh man, guys, are you really celebrating the end of FEMA? The organization that comes in to help you when disasters happen? To make sure that you're housed and like have food and stuff? Like, you really want to play that game? Cause like I still remember when Hurricane Katrina happened. Like I still remember when, Appalachia flooded. Like I don't think you want FEMA to be gone, actually. You know? Elon goes nuclear on fake news and makes huge move. Woke media admits defeat amid bad reviews for Snow White. God. Oh my God. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna do another segment on the quartering here. I just saw the full title of the video he put out explaining the largest national security breach in our country's history. Um, and it is Trump war plans leaked on Signal. Woke Journo releases them and backfires as Trump and Vance look based.
Conservatives think FEMA builds concentration camps for the New World Order. No shit. My mom believes crap like that.
I know, but it's fucking insane. They're gonna be really confused when the state of Mississippi doesn't have like the resources to house people displaced by a disaster. Thank you for the $5 dono, One-Eyed Heathen. But like, dude is literally treating the largest national security breach in modern history at the very least. And he's like, well, actually, it backfired because the breach made Donald Trump and JD Vance look good somehow. Like, I'm sorry, what? How does this possibly make you look good? You had people using Signal, right? To communicate the highest levels of military intelligence on their personal fucking phones in an unsecured environment, breaking all of our military's protocols so that they could avoid like congressional records. One of them was in the Kremlin at the time? I didn't even know that. Oh, God. Like, it just like I don't know. I'm sorry. You think our defense secretary like drunkenly like divulging national secrets is good? That makes us look great? What are you talking about? JD Vance in those leaked texts even talks about how like, you know, this is actually like largely incompatible with the president's rhetoric. They were disagreeing amongst themselves because JD Vance was like, actually killing random civilians in Yemen doesn't help us. Because here's an example of us helping Europeans again when all of, you know, Donald Trump's rhetoric is about how we're leaving Europe high and dry. And then Stephen Miller comes in and goes, no, actually, the president gave the order, time to do the bombing. It's fucking nuts. Well, yeah, no, but that's what I'm trying to explain, Amber Brains. Like, JD Vance didn't want to do it because it contradicted Donald Trump's rhetoric about leaving Europe high and dry and not militarily supporting them. And yet here they are about to do a bombing campaign of Yemen in order to ostensibly open up the Suez Canal trading route. And like that primarily supports Europe and not our trade in the United States. So like his concern was not humanitarian in the slightest. JD well, also JD Vance, you know, JD Vance is a protectionist. He wants to like orient everything around like not getting involved in foreign wars and also like protecting US trade and like cuz he wants to be president in 2028 and like you know, he's an ambitious little cockroach. What did I do? The auto mod flagged it as a lookalike text. I mean, according to these insider texts, Simric, around 3% of US trade goes through the Suez Canal. So it's not like a major concern. But like, who do I like for 2028? Right now, I'm feeling Tim Walz. I mean, if AOC runs, she's top of the list for me. I don't think that's what she's doing. I think she's trying to like symbolically take the torch from Bernie and like be kind of mentored by him to be kind of the next progressive leader in the House and Senate. But like, yeah. How is JD Vance on the side of consistency? I mean, like, it's not. It's purely out of his own self-interest. I assure you. But Tim Walz, if AOC isn't in the running for president, Tim Walz is my top right now. If we could get like Sean Fain to run, he'd be my top. But like, dude's got other fish to fry in 2028. Who's the running mate? Honestly, I'm not too hung up on it. I think like whenever we get closer to the election, after the midterms, we'll see the field kind of play out. Like, has anyone heard that people with the DSA are saying that AOC is anti-Semitic? Where's that coming from? It's coming from hollow virtue signaling. Yeah. Didn't who just pull a bitch move? Yeah, Tim and AOC together would be a killer combo. I don't know that AOC is necessarily gearing up to run for the presidency. Sean Fain? You might be confusing him with the other Sean, who's the head of the Teamsters. Sean Fain is the head of the UAW, and he's been doing fantastic work by all accounts. He's basically been shoring up auto industry unions and starting new ones all across the country. And he's been doing good. Yeah, and different chapters in DSA are gonna vary by like kind of what their tone and tenor is, The Teamster guy that Mullen wanted to fight, I don't know. Yeah, I also don't think Raskin's really positioning himself to run. But yeah, I don't really see many other potential candidates. Maybe like JB Pritzker, but like Pritzker is not my top choice. He's good. He's not my top guy. Like Walls. We all like Walls. Folks, I am tired as hell. It is almost 5 o'clock in the morning. I am going to go to sleep, and we're going to do a longer stream tomorrow so that we can kind of catch up on some of the news. Like, I want to go over the Senate hearing on this Signal chat leak. I want to go over the Dem path forward, which I intended to do tonight, but we didn't get to it, and we'll also do our law segment tomorrow. That one's going to be a doozy. It's going to take a while to get through. Would Buttigieg be a black horse? No, Buttigieg sucks. When are you starting tomorrow? Probably in the afternoon sometime. I'll do my best. I have to be completely honest with you. I try to start at 8 p.m. Central Time, but like my life is like I have a lot of things I need to do in a lot of different places, and it's really hard. So I'll try to be getting started earlier tomorrow, but also I am going to bed at 4:30, so who the fuck knows what my schedule is going to look like tomorrow. Your company was fixing bread prices. All right. Good night, folks.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm KC, and I want to introduce you to some brand new members of the Sunshine Band. You know what? It's everybody!
DJ Cumberbund.
Everybody and the Sunshine Band. Everybody. Everybody and always clean. Oh, don't you see what I mean? Got shiny diamonds like the eyes of a cat in the black and blue. Something is coming for you. Look out! Race for the morning. You can hide in the sun till you see the light. Oh, we will pray it's alright. Gotta get away.
Get out the way.
Get away.
Get out the way.
Gotta get away.
Get out the way.
Get away.
Get out the way, bitch. Get out the way.
That's the way. Your lights it. That's the way. Your lights it. Like this.
Facts over lover, always hide beneath the covers. Still I talk to your daddy and say it's that you ain't seen nothing till you're down on a muff, and then you're sure to be changing your ways. I met a cheerleader, was a real young bleeder. Times I can reminisce. Cause the best things of loving with a sister and a cousin only started with a little kiss. Like this. Seesaw swinging with the balls in the school and your feet flying up in the air. Sing hey diddle diddle with your kitty in the middle of the swing like it didn't care. So I took a big chance at the high school dance with a missy who was ready to play. Wasn't me she was fooling cause she knew what she was doing. Then I know love was here to stay. When she told me to walk this way, talk this way, walk this way, talk this way.
She told me to
walk this way, talk this way, walk this way, talk this way. Well, just give me a key.
That's the way. Aerosmith likes it. That's the way. Aerosmith likes it.
Rising up, back on the street. Did my time, took my chances. I took it nothing. Went the distance, now I'm back on my feet. Just a man and his will to survive. Go back to the docks where you belong. So many times it happens too fast.
spring. Your voice is soft like summer rain, and I cannot compete with you, Jolene. He talks about you in your sleep, and there's nothing I can do to keep from crying when he calls your name, Jolene. And I can easily understand how you could easily take my man, but you don't know what he means to me, Jolene. Jolene, 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 begging of you, please don't take my man. Jolene, 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 don't take him just 'cause you can.
That's the way, Dolly likes it. That's the way, Dolly likes it.
Crossed out my Southwinder. I'm a California king. I swear it's everywhere. Oh, it's everything.
Such a sexy, pretty little thing. Your staple bitch, you got me sprung with your tongue ring. And I ain't gonna lie, 'cause your loving gets me high. So to keep you by my side, there's nothing that I won't try. Butterflies in her eyes and her looks to kill. Time is passing, I'm asking, could this be real? 'Cause I can't sleep, I can't hold still. The only thing I really know is she got sex appeal. I can feel too much is never enough. You always had to lift me up, and these times get rough. I was lost, now I'm found. Ever since you've been around, you're the woman that I wish you on putting it down. Come my lady, come my lady, you're my butterfly, sugar baby. Come my lady, you my pretty baby, I'll make your legs shake, you make me go crazy. Come my lady, come my lady, you're my butterfly, sugar baby. Come my lady, you're my pretty baby, I'll make your legs shake, you make me go crazy. That's the way, crazy town likes it. That's the way, crazy town likes it.
All you people look at me like I'm a little girl. Well, did you ever think it'd be okay? But something wasn't right here. Always saying, little girl, don't step into the club. Well, I'm just trying to find out why, and now you're right outside, yeah. Show me how you want it to be. Feel like talking, feel like dancing when I see this guy. What's practical is logical. What the hell, who cares? Tell me, baby, 'cause I need to know now. Because stay for you. I must confess, I still believe. Stay for you. Give me a sign. Me, baby, one more time.
That's the way, he likes it. That's the way, he likes it.
Life is a waterfall. We're one in the river and one again after the fall. Swimming through the void, we hear the word. We lose ourselves, but we find it all. 'Cause we are the ones that wanna play. You always wanna go, but you never wanna stay. We are the ones that wanna choose. Always wanna play, but you never wanna lose. Warriors in the sky. When you lose more mind, you free your life. Aerials so up high. When you free your life, eternal prize.
That's the way, system of a down likes it. That's the way, system of a down likes it.
of the shadow of death. I take a look at my life and realize there's nothing left. Cause I've been blasting and laughing so long that even my mama thinks that my mind is gone. But I ain't never crossed a man that didn't deserve it. Be treated like a punk, you know that's unheard of. You better watch how you're talking and where you're walking, or you and your homies might be lying and chalk. Power and the money, money and the power. Minute after minute, hour after hour. Everybody's running, but half of them ain't looking what's going on in the kitchen. But I don't know what's tripping. They say I got to learn, but nobody's here to teach me. If they can't understand it, how can they reach me? I guess they can't, I guess they won't, I guess they front. That's why I know my life is out of luck. Fool. Been spending most our lives living in a gangster's paradise. Been spending most our lives living in a gangster's paradise. Why are we so blind to see that the ones we hurt are you and me?
That's the way, you're right, that's the way,
The gifted Andy Kaufman. I trusted you, 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 I trusted you at all.
That's the way,